Griffin, you're feeding back.
Griffin, you're feeding back.
Yo, bro. 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 Yo, bro.
Minds with dirty hands, you deal the pack, looking for the one-eyed Jack.
Yo, 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 yo. Hey, guys, what's going on? Got to hit that pre-roll in about 30 seconds, so we're going to do that. Got to hit that pre-roll. Get yourself subbed to the channel, and our show begins in 5. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the show. What's going on? My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Tonight, the first episode of Part 2 of Section 31, and we'll introduce you to the GS31. We're going to take a look at the refinery, look at parts, costs, time to upgrade, sourcing, and functionality. That is all coming up here tonight. And it would be very, very normal. Very, very normal if we would start off with a Talking Trek server sound up. So you guys go ahead and punch it in chat. Captain Q kicking us off tonight on server 57. Noon Whistle on 29. Thank you. Raj on server 9. What's going on? Gherkin on European 184. Tarpy on server 70. Sherlock Holmes on server 27. Thank you. Jack on 84. What's going on? How you doing? Scaly back from the Outback on 193. Strider on server 11. Thank you. Vic on server 40. What is going on? Newton on 702, Stradalorian on 9, Engineering on 36, and Dominus Prime on 53. I just lost my place. Vic, hi. J-Babes on 13, what's going on? Bender the Robot, Game Junior on 30, Enterprise Actual on server 30, Dave Stress on 32. I caught you this time, Noon Whistle. I caught you. Hey, Sparks. What's going on 95? Shadow Sheep on 133. Wheels on server 95. Shady Pines heads up from the Catnip on 27 to 29. Cruzito on 13. Engineer on server 89. Thank you. Just Q. What's going on? Check on 84. Calamount on 89. Chaos on 26. Bender the Robot on server 51. Striker on 49. Timothy on 93. What's going on? Darren on 138. Deck on 37. What's going on? Damos on server 125, Zero G's on 29, Broken Wolf on 99, Everywhere It Matters on 56, Devious on 107, Kirok on 61, Kanatu on server 38, Woo! Captain Bull on the flagship server 15, thank you so very much, Peacer Assimilation on 57, Silver Tab on server 40, Taffman on 155. Thank you. What's going on? Killer Spock on 138. Jondrel on 32. And you guys are absolutely a pumped up and happening crowd tonight. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very, very much for being here. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live. If we take a look and split the screen. Oh, he's actually gone. He was up there. He is. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Griffin is here as well. What's up, buddy? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Are you trying to come in on? There you go. There we go.
Happy Thursday, everybody. How you doing out there, UltimatDJz? Good to see you, man.
I'm doing wonderfully. He was getting ready to yell at me, and it wasn't me. He actually had the mute button pressed.
Are you proud? I held it in, though, before cussing at you directly.
Thank you.
I actually looked around. And
I appreciate that. Wardrobe check.
I was wrong.
Wardrobe check, everybody. Everybody all right? Anybody wearing identifiable clothing?
No, but we are drinking the new Peach Ghost Energy, ladies and gentlemen. Get it to your nearest Long's Drugs.
Are we? Are we drinking peach or are we drinking orange cream Ghost Energy tonight?
It's pretty good. It's
not
good,
entirely
but
sure.
It's no peach.
I'm not
It's
sure
no
which
peach.
one. Well, you know what? We should do this. We should do like a ride or die. Every night we just pick a flavor and we'll let the community decide in like a poll which of the two flavors is best. But you're going to have to do more than just peach. All right? You're going to have to we're going to have to play this game. It'll be a little bit more random.
Peach is the new grape. What do you want me to say?
All right. I mean, yeah, but you can't just buy all the same one all the time. You're going to have to now look. I want you to look at the chat right now. Everybody in the chat who is drinking a Ghost Energy right now. I just want to clip this segment so that Griffin can send it to the marketing company because I'm pretty sure we're selling the hell out of this stuff. All right, that's right.
Clipped out the last two. If we hit them with 3, it'll be pretty good.
There you go. Check absolutely exclamation point Amazon in the Twitch chat right now. Question mark Amazon if you're in the Discord for you to find an Amazon link where you can do your normal everyday shopping and support this show. You pay the same prices on the same products that you know and you love and you use every single day of the month. Be sure to use that link and support your favorite content creation team here at Talking Trek. And Amazon will pay us a little bit of a cut every time that you order something. And you can go on there and you can find all kinds of flavors, including orange cream, Ghost Energy,
and peach.
And peach. There you go.
The peach you can get for $27.99. The cream is $29.99.
Unless you go with subscribe and save, and then it's cheaper than the peach. All right, I'm just saying.
Oh, you have figured it out. You have cracked the code.
There you go. Queen Rach is doing sour pink lemonade, which is also a favorite. I love that one. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Psycho says he got the
go
great.
Get that right now. I'll be right back.
Dastros is on Maripop. All right. Swedish Fish is Iron Fister's wife's choice. Red Berry is his. Mechrack going with the grape. All right, very nice. Papa Smurf says orange cream is way better than peach. I know, right? So let's see. Noon Whistle's got Swedish Fish. Let's see. Anybody else? All right, looks like we're doing it. There we go. Cherry Limeade, says Broken Wolf. All right, cool. There you go. Thank you guys very, very much. Appreciate that. Let me say a couple of thank yous as we prepare to open our show today. First of all, Zero G's. Yes, I have indeed changed my name in game. There you go. Blame Zero. That's what it is. Thank you for spending your channel points here. Papa Smurf, thank you for the kitty bitties. Devious, thank you for the 8-month Prime resub. Jess Insanity with the 28 months on Tier 1. Spock also dropping a gifted sub to Newton. Thank you so very much. Sin of the Dark, 26 months. Game Junior, 13 months here on the channel. Jongo, 32 months at Tier 3. Man, thank you. Thank you so very much. Griffin dropped a gifted sub to Enterprise. Thank you, Cruzito, with the 36-month sub. Griffin dropping a couple more gifts to Sparks and Kanatu. Thank you so very much. Dr. Juby with the 36 months says, what's up, Melbourne, Lorca, McBurger, Masterson, Liverpool. That's my real name. He's doxing me. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Back.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you. Let's see. We have J-Babes. Tibbs just right. What did I miss something? What did you just slam down on your desk? Did you guys see that? I missed something, I believe.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
You said that you wanted to pick favorites. So
No, not like just every show. We're each going to pick a flavor. We'll throw it up. And we'll let the community decide who's drinking the best flavor of the night. Okay.
Well, I don't know if I want to be committed to just the peach right now.
No,
I mean,
you started with the peach. We're going to put up the poll.
Maybe I do want the sour pink lemonade.
Maybe you want the original Welch's Grape Ghost. Okay.
Maybe I want the sour watermelon.
Or perhaps you're after the sour punch blue raspberry.
Maybe the Swedish Fish.
I cleaned out my studio. That's all I've got out here right now.
Maybe the cherry limeade.
This is good stuff. Thank you.
maybe the sour green apple.
I've got that one too. Indominus Prime dropping 5 gifted. Thank you so very much. Tibbs, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you coming in. I don't have that one. What is that one? Sour black cherry?
That is a sour black cherry.
Ooh,
Ghost Energy.
I haven't had that one. Nowhere Man with the 33 months. Thank you. Agonor, 18 months. Sherlock Holmes, 30 months. Iron Fister, I love Strawbango. That's a good one. Iron Fister dropping 5 gifted. Papa Smurf dropping 5 gifted. Sherlock Holmes with the 30 months. Wilhelm, 31 months. And Kill Deal, 8 months on the Tier 2 resub. Thank you so much. What great support of the channel. You guys are beautiful. I love you all. Thank you.
It's hard to find somebody to get the sub to because everybody is subbed.
And there is still a hype train going on. We've got 3 minutes left, and we're already into a level 6. Now, listen, for those of you in podcasts, I know that this doesn't really ring true through the podcast, but there's a lot of hype when we are able to do this stuff live. If you catch one of our live streams, and if we get enough hype, I don't know if Tarpy is here in the audience right now, but Tarpy likes to play games with the community when it comes to hype. Tarpy, good evening to you.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi.
Why don't you share with the podcast audience right now, just in case they've not caught one of our live streams, what would happen if we hit a level 10 hype train here on Twitch tonight?
Ooh.
You would give away some money.
We would give
You would give away some stuff.
We'd give
that
away
sounds
stuff
good.
every single time. Let me get this. We would give you $100 in STFC currency starting at level 10. But then every level after that. What happens, Darby?
Yep. Another $100, right?
Wait, another
At each-
100 at each level? My goodness
Yeah.
gracious. So at
Now
tier
we're
11, we'd give away another $100. And then at tier 12,
But
we'd give away another $100.
And, like, along the way, it depends on how people donate money, what you give away in the middle there too. Because there's some battle passes if they donate particular ways, right?
That's right.
Or
we do
cruise entries.
battle passes, cruise entries. For those of you listening in podcast, we are currently we just started 10 days ago. We started, that's a good sound right there. Just started our Talking Trek Cruise sweepstakes. We'll have an opportunity for you to win a free cruise coming up here over the summer. Okay. Going to be very, very cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. D_Camel. Thank you for redeeming VIP. You now have a beautiful pink diamond next to your name. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Camel, for the VIP.
The pink diamond in your life.
Jungo and Chaos, thank you guys for the hydrates. I will enjoy my orange
I'll
cream.
enjoy my sour pink lemonade. That sounded like that really hit the spot. I'm chilling up here with 13 flavors of Ghost Energy. I'm ready to completely unlock Romulan and Klingon tonight.
No,
By 7 a.m. I can
don't do it. Don't drink more. Don't drink more than two.
That's
drinking
a fairy tale.
No, drinking from personal experience. Speaking from personal experience, you will explode. All right, I'm just letting you know it's gonna happen. All right, just two. Just stop at two.
I think my record in one day is 7.
No, are you serious?
Are you
Did you see did you see the brand new the EDC electric limeade DJs?
No, I haven't. I don't think I've seen that one. I did
If
see
you like
that
limeade,
Ghost
whew.
has released cereal now. Like
I have it downstairs. I have it down at the Lucky Charms. It's great.
Go get it. Let's see it. Let's see it.
No, somebody, I don't even know who it was. Somebody sent me a screenshot. Gosh, I don't remember who it was. Somebody sent me a post today, or maybe tagged me in it or something like that, that there was Ghost cereal now, and you have it.
We have
That's
Ghost
absolutely-
cereal, we have Ghost protein powder, and Ghost Energy Mix Elixir. So if you do not want to be burdened by having, for example, a case of Welch's Grape Ghost Energy,
Of
because
course.
it is out of stock periodically, you
Yeah.
can get a 64-ounce bottle of powder Ghost Grape Energy.
Oh, that's great.
And make it on your own.
Okay, that's fantastic. Listen, are we? This is probably the biggest product that we have sold. Are we making money? I have to ask. I have to ask because we've sold hundreds
You've
of
sold a
cases. We've sold hundreds of cases of this so far. I'm just throwing this out there. Here's the cereal. Thank you, General Ark tagged me in it. You've got Ghost Energy with marshmallows and Ghost Energy peanut butter breakfast cereals. Now, I do want to post out here $8 for a
It's worth every
box?
penny.
Dude, that's $1 an ounce, bro.
Hold on. You cannot have your Frosted Flakes, your Lucky Charms, or your Tricks, or your Sugar Smacks and stay within the macro world that you, sir, are living in Weight Watchers or whatever program you're on there at home.
Yeah.
With the Ghost cereal, you can make that a part of your balanced breakfast and diet and still participate in a macro-friendly lifestyle.
Jesus Christ.
Are there any dentists here?
I just want everybody to know that I am 99% sure the only way we make money off this is if you use the Amazon link. All right. I'm just throwing that out there.
Hold on. We're not DJs.
Yeah.
We are not Zennials. We're not Generation Alpha or Beta.
Okay.
We sir are Gen X. We put in the work and then we get the reward.
Oh, I got it. So we're going to just advertise every product under the sun and hope that they send us a paycheck one day.
Hey, if you don't cast your line, you'll never catch a fish. That's all I'm saying.
Or a Swedish fish, for that matter.
Indeed, which can be yours by the 12-pack on Amazon for only $27.99.
Jesus. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Welcome in, everybody. Listen, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. Who is excited about the new Jizz 31, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Are we allowed to say that on the podcast? It's the GS31.
No, it's just it's a name. It's like it's a proper noun.
It's the hot new ship sweeping the nation, and it does help you with your solo armadas, or no, your solo wave defense to really cash in the new refinery, DJs.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about all that stuff tonight. As a matter of fact, Jules should be here very, very shortly, but we did do a test stream with this thing Tuesday night. So, Tarpy, let's take just a couple of minutes. Let's actually go through and talk a little bit about the beginning of acquiring this ship. Obviously, you can buy it right now for $100.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah, very good. I have too.
You can buy it, all right? You can buy it if you would like, and then, of course, you can go in and you can pay to do the upgrades. Oh, we should probably talk about a couple of announcements. Should we talk about a couple of announcements before we get into the
announcements? That's good. It's like doing your class read before you begin.
Yeah, probably should get into that. Listen, I started the show on Tuesday, and there's a monologue up there. I did, by the way, I don't have stupid news tonight, Spectre. Oliver had baseball. Ooh, so we're now 1-2. All right, we got creamed tonight, 16-3. Listen, at this age, I'm pretty sure you're either going to win 16-3 or lose 16-3. There's not a close game at this age, I don't think. So we're now 1-2. We lost by 13 runs tonight. However,
you know how you solve that? You solve that problem by volunteering to be the umpire.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Because
however, I will tell you,
every pitch is a ball. Every pitch is a ball, so it's
Oliver,
completely subjective on what you want to call a strike.
Oliver pitched tonight.
And how did he do?
He got a strikeout. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That was awesome.
He did.
Very
he got a strikeout. He actually went in as relief. So the pitcher that was before him was doing a pretty good job, but then he started to get tired. This little boy pitched like 4 innings, and then he started getting a little bit tired. So then, we've got 1 out, bases are loaded, and then he put Oliver in, right? And that was a little bit of a challenge. Now, Oliver got a strikeout. Then another guy hit a ball, and 2 runs scored. But then they threw somebody out on the field, and then on the next runner, then he got hit, and they threw him out on the play. So Oliver only played that 1 inning, and then of course he only pitched that 1 inning, and then the game was over. So he closed and allowed 2 runs, but he did get them out of a bases loaded 1 out situation.
That's
right?
huge.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job, and he got a strikeout, which I was very, very happy about. So that was very, very cool. But I will say, I did not do stupid news tonight, Spectre. I apologize. We'll try to catch up with that another time. I was very, very busy over the last couple of days. Tuesday, we did a stream. I was having a real rough time. By the way, thank you guys for all the prayers. Thank you for all the thoughts. I've got hundreds of DMs that I still have not answered. I will. I always do. I know that I've got prizes to give. I've got battle passes. Do not think that I'm not answering you. I will. I am committed to digging through the inbox by the end of this weekend. I'm going to go through everything. But Tuesday's show, I doxed myself. So that show was late going up. I did get that show up yesterday. And unfortunately, Griffin, I am a terrible editor, and there was an extra blur box that existed for like 30 minutes, like right in the dead middle of the screen on accident. So I apologize if you're watching that video back, but honestly, that video had more discussion in it. It actually would have been a really great podcast. And so I want everybody to know that it's up, and I hope that you have a chance to go back and listen. The beginning of that show included some updates of drama over the weekend, my apology to people that I had impacted,
A little accidental mea culpa.
Yeah, an accident, and then also we talked about the Arc. We talked about what Echo's been doing with it. We talked about one of the or two of the mistakes that happened on day one, and then we saw this announcement that came out yesterday. And I know that there's heartburn out there about this. I felt like even a lot of the other people in the dev chat, some of the moderators and content creators, there was some heartburn over what was announced. And I am curious to hear from you guys because honestly, I thought that what they decided to do was decent. Okay. I mean, obviously, yeah, Broken Wolf talking about the tier 5 pack. So for those who don't know, let's just break it down. On day one, there was an upgrade pack for the ship. So if you bought the ship, that was fine. There was $100. One of the things that we had praised coming into this arc, and I was included, I know Stewie and Lube, they were talking to me about it today. They did the same thing. We were, in our pre-arc meeting, we had shared or had been shared with that a single pack would get you to tier 5, all right, on the upgrade, okay? Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, going from tier 6 to tier 10 would be 6 additional packs, okay? So $700 worth of upgrades would make the ship usable for G6, getting it to tier 10. On day one, the pack came out, and it was labeled with tier 5, all right? So that seemed to lend credence to the fact that, hey, this pack is going to be right. It's what we thought it was going to be. They're going to go to tier 5. And unfortunately, Griffin, what happened with that first pack is that it actually fell a little bit short. Okay? It fell a little bit short by roughly, I think, what did they end up coming up with, Tarpy? 4,000 parts or 4,500 parts? I'm not entirely sure. It was close, but no cigar. Okay? Ended up being a little bit short. So you guys saw me do it on screen. I did it tier 4 and ended up being short 3 components from getting it to tier 5. So obviously we escalate that on Tuesday night. Now, my words on Tuesday night, Griffin, were very specific because I had spoken to Live Ops earlier in the day, and I had spoken to Echo. And I said, hey, listen, we've got a problem. And the response that I got that day is the same thing I told you on Tuesday, which is, okay, we got to look into it. We got to figure this out. All right? Not a this is what I'm doing or this is what we can do. It was exactly what should have happened, which is, oh my God, I need to assess the situation. All right? Got to figure out what happened. So that was what we talked about on Tuesday night. All right? And Kill to Deal said, yeah, see, Kill to Deal is this is what worries me and why I'm always so careful with my words. He says another content creator had told me the pack was fixed and would get you to tier 5. They were wrong. It did not. And I heard a lot of this out there. And that troubles me because I was super. There was actually a complaint in dev chat that, and I thought they were talking about me, that content creators were continuing to tell people that the pack was going to be fine. And I was like, no, that's not what I said. And I thought they were referring to me. Later, I think I realized that they weren't because they were talking about other things that were said. And I was like, okay, I definitely didn't say that.
They were complaining about you for a completely different reason.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. There's always going to be complaints about me for some reason, one way or another. But no, then and it concerned me because there were more people talking about this pack than obviously just what I had shared with you guys. And the information was not consistent. That evening, I spoke to Echo again, and he was trying to evaluate all this data and doing the timing and looking at the reports and trying to count the parts and trying to figure out what had happened with the parts and why they ended up being a little bit short. Long story short, he had a long night. All right, I feel bad for the guy. And in all fairness, I said exactly that. All right, I do feel bad for you, bro. But this is time sensitive. We got to get something rolling on this. You got to say something. All right, we got to do something. You can't leave it alone. All right, you can't leave it alone. And the next day, Hammy came out and said, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. All right. we are going to extend the time of that purchase because they had changed the banner. This was the thing. After 30 or 45 minutes of that pack being up, Griffin, Echo changed the label on it. As soon as he realized that the parts weren't right, he changed the label on it. All right.
And that takes care of everybody going forward from that point. Sure. Yes.
Well, it should in theory. But, we got problems with localization in this game. We've got issues with games not updating all the time. So, but here's the thing. Localization gets updated once every 24 hours anyway. Okay? So, what they ended up doing, which I thought was kind of nice, is that after they changed the label, they went all the way forward 24 more hours to the next localization cutoff. All right. So Tuesday night, the pack came out, or Tuesday morning, the pack came out. The pack was changed Tuesday midday, and they extended their cutoff until Wednesday morning. And they said, listen, anybody who bought this pack, we're covering everybody who might not have manually cleared their local. All right. And we're going to cover everybody who bought the pack who could have seen that this pack would get you to tier 5. And they went back and comped or are comping. As a matter of fact, an announcement came out literally 35 minutes ago that they have begun to roll out those compensation chests. And those compensation chests are going to contain the parts to get you to tier 5. Keel Deal says
2,370 parts.
Have you already gotten it? Because I don't even know how many parts it was.
I have it up on my webcam right now. Yeah, 2,370 parts on a little gift chest that you just got rolled out to your account or about to.
There it is right there, 2,370. And now Broken Wolf says it was more. Other people had thrown out other numbers. You got to remember there is a correct way to claim this stuff, all right? Voltron says, does it change per ops? I don't know. Let's find out. Here, I'll pull mine up right now, and we'll see what was in mine. Mine, yes, was 4,420. So there's
what?
two.
But I'm at a higher ops level. I got screwed. Where's my parts?
No, you had. So here's what I think actually ended up happening, Griffin. I think what ended up happening. What happened was there were different numbers of parts in different packs for ops.
Oh.
We've seen that before.
That could be right.
And I think that probably wasn't originally the case. When we had first, talked about, hey, one pack is going to get you to tier 5, I think we were kind of assuming that all the packs were going to be the same. That's right. Griffin had more parts in his original pack than I did. So that's why you are seeing a couple of different comps out there. Now, Peace or Assimilation says, okay, so DJ, let me ask the question. If I buy that pack today, is it going to get me to tier 5? And the answer is no. Okay? The answer is no. Now, if I had my way about everything, then that is probably as far as I would have gone there. Okay? I would have comped everybody out, fixed the pack, and stuck to the original plan. If I was running the show. Okay, but I'm not. And I have to look at this from a perspective of what I have done in the past. What I have complained about in the past is, I'm going to use some really harsh words. Deceptive, false advertising, bait and switch. Okay. Ooh. I mean, there's been some very risky moves by Scopely in the past, and my gut was telling me, you have to make these players whole. If somebody spent money on this pack expecting it to get to tier 5, and it didn't, and the banner said tier 5, that's a big deal in my mind.
There's only one thing to do at that point. You got to go to tier 5.
Yeah. All right. It's got to. All right. Now, here's the deal. I see a lot of people fussing about this today. I see it right now in our chat. I saw it in dev chat yesterday. I see this, and I'm a little bit curious. All right, I'm a little bit curious. Mord says, DJ told us in the initial launch the pack would get to tier 5 of the ship. How do we fix that comms issue? Was it your mistake, DJs, or Scopely? Mord, I appreciate you asking that question. I'll just be straight up honest with you, and I'm going to rip that Band-Aid off, and I'm going to say it was Scopely's. Okay, it was not mine. I have admitted my failures in the past. Okay, have I not, community? If I get something wrong, I have come out. I will 1,000% own it. I will apologize if necessary. I'll apologize profusely if necessary. I will. Okay, I will. This one was not on me. Okay, as indicated by all the other content creators that ran with the same information. All right. Carissa says they didn't change the pack, which means they never intended tier 5 with one pack. This is one of those subject to change kind of things, Carissa, I believe, is what I believe happened. Because I do believe that it was originally conceived that it was going to be tier 5 with one pack. I believe that somebody else, maybe in another department, was like, I don't know, maybe we could do a little bit more. You know, that was a subject to change kind of moment. And they are entitled to that. Okay? The fact that they did not change the pack after this whole debacle, I think does kind of speak to what they had decided to do later. Okay? Do I think there was a breakdown in communications? Yep. Because the pack still had the tier 5 label on it.
Whoopsies.
Right? The pack still had the tier 5 label on it. Now,
this is why they normally just say retrieving ...
Yeah.
Then there's no problem.
Yeah, then you don't have to worry about it. Killdeal or Captain Q says, this is the holodeck all over again. Isn't that why Bubba quit? No, I don't think so. Here's why I don't think so. And this is why I am a little bit puzzled by some of the folks who were very upset. If you bought the pack, you didn't get what you thought you were paying for. That's one big no-no. Okay? Then they changed the pack and made everybody who bought the pack whole. Now we have people who are upset that the pack is not what it was on day one. Now, I'm going to explain both sides of this, Griffin, all right? Because there's a couple of facts. Fact number one is we do ordinarily have an early bird special. There's almost always a day one pack, okay? And it's almost always better than any other pack you can buy in the month. So there's one con or pro that I would say with what they did, they basically gave the early adopters, the early purchasers, they gave them a little bit, not just taking aside the advertising problem, all right? They made them whole because I think they had to, all right? But not changing the pack makes those who bought the pack on day one have a little bit extra juice.
Yeah.
The other problem is that, though, is that early bird special that is normally only one day did have a 7-day timer on it.
Ooh, oh no.
Yeah. So what they normally only have on sale for one day, they decided to do 7 days this time, but then changed the pack after one day.
That's called you can't win for losing.
Yeah. This was a no-win scenario, I think, from Echo's perspective as compared to Billy from accounting. Yeah, Scopely again. It's just they can't quite help themselves, all right? They go in and have a wonderful idea, by the way. A beautifully wonderful idea. I mean, listen, players were happy. I even talked about this up front. For me, who normally doesn't actually buy upgrade packs, like I'll get the ship, I might buy one to demonstrate it, but I don't normally buy upgrade packs. And I did. And I know a lot of you felt like you would this time, especially in G5. Mm-hmm. Because $100 made the ship a powerhouse for you and your waves. I mean, we demonstrated that Tier 5 of the ship is holding its own in G5 waves. It's doing very, very well.
Indeed. And in fact, it's hard to cite another example where just that one pack took you as far along as this GS31
That's
pack
true.
did.
And that's why this should have been celebrated. That's why I was really happy about it. And why I think a lot of you were excited about it. Right? Now, Divine says those not online missed out. No, because they did give 24 hours.
That's always he means the first day. If you didn't log in for like the first 36
there's always
hours,
an early
but, you know,
bird special.
Yeah,
All right?
That's not a surprise.
Now,
Not a surprise at all.
why this is different than Holodeck? Well, Bubba had stuff clawed back, not given to. Then they penalized them in future events. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a different scenario. I'm going to probably be slightly unpopular or slightly more unpopular or majorly more unpopular than I already am. I am not horribly offended by their decision. I would have loved to see them roll the pack forward. Okay, truthfully. I would have loved that. Like if I already said, if I was writing everything, I would have just made the pack what it was supposed to be from the beginning, and then everybody's happy. And I saw this in the chat here just a second ago. They're probably costing themselves a few sales here. All right? For people who didn't buy on day one and now are going to look at this and be like, I'm going to get less than I could have gotten if I bought on day one. Well, piss on it. I'm just not going to buy it all. I think that's happening. I think that's happening.
It does every time they do something like this.
I think that's going to happen. All right. And that's right, Spectre. It's not just now sales, but sales tomorrow, sales 3 days from now, sales a week from now. All right. Well, not a week from now because it would have been a 7-day pack. We're already 3 days in. So, all right. For the next 4 days, I think people are going to feel a little rough about that. Now, it's not just 4 days. All right, because then even after that 4 days, somebody else is going to come in and be like, well, daggone, I can't get as much as I would have gotten a week ago anyway. And now they might start feeling differently about that anyhow. However, that's more on the player because the pack had a 7-day timer. Chaos says that's why I'm not buying it now. I feel kind of bad about it. And that's why if I had my way, I would have loved to have put the pack back. Now, if that was not an option, and listen, you guys know I live in the world of compromise with Scopely, okay? I literally never get to go in and just say, Echo, do this. I don't get to do that. That'd be great. He should tremble in his boots when I say do something. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Joking, buddy.
Oh, wow.
I'm totally joking. He's in the audience right now. He's watching. I'm kidding, buddy. I love you. If I could have had my way on everything, fine. It's almost always a negotiation or a compromise with Scopely. And you guys know this, all right? This is why I have said before that I feel like I do good for you. All right? I do. And sometimes players aren't happy with that. And I'm like, I get that. But we're not always going to get 100% our way. Cruzito kind of has it right. If you don't like it now, then vote with your wallet. And I don't disagree. If I'm being completely objective about it, you always should be voting with your wallet. I mean, we've been saying that for 5 years, Griffin. If you like something, buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
I mean, it's basic common sense.
Yeah. If there's no value in it, then I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
However, I do feel this month we had a real chance, Griffin, at actually seeing value in that $100 upgrade pack. And now I feel like players might be losing that feeling just a little bit because now $100 turns into $200. And I'm here to tell you, $200 feels a lot heavier than $100.
It's in fact double. But I got to make the point, the unpopular opinion that Griffin will always make is how far does the $100 pack get you?
Tier 4.5.
And he bought it today.
4.5.
Come on. It's still tier 4.5 of the new ship.
It is. I think the just for devil's advocate, I think the issue that players have is that $20 yesterday is gone today. Does that make sense? I might not have said that right. Your pack is buying 20% less value today than it did yesterday.
No, that's not fair either.
Well, it might not be.
Tier 4 to tier 5, and that's not even what's happening.
Well,
it's tier 4.6 instead
4.5.
of 5 point whatever.
4.5.
4.5 instead of
5. Now, it's I will point out this perspective, and I like this, Timothy. Thank you. Hey, listen, if you were to go one step further with it, all right, and I'm not suggesting that $200 is as easy as $100. I'm not suggesting that, and I get that. But Timothy's like, listen, that extra 100 didn't just finish tier 5. It actually went 1.5 and got you tier 6.
Because it's 6.
Okay.
And that's great.
Which is true. So tier 1 got me to 4. Pack 1 got me to 4. The second pack didn't just get me to 5. It took me on up to 6. All right. And that is also a fair perspective and probably one that we are overlooking. Oh, I know we're overlooking it. Because
it's a page too far, because hypothetically now we're talking about spending twice the money and nobody was even, why is that even a part of the case study here? It's very simple. It's the banner said tier 5 and it didn't do tier 5, it did tier 4.5. And that's
you're
you got
exactly
them dead
right.
bang with that.
You're exactly right. People got excited about the fact that they could actually go to tier 5 with one pack. It was a mental block. All right. So that I understand the frustration. And there is still a lot of dissent in the community from people I admire and respect about how this was handled. I think they accomplished what they had to. I do think they could do more. I do think I would like them to do more. But they covered their obligations to the players who purchased with cash a mislabeled product. And that, let's face it, that doesn't always happen. All right? If we're being straight up about it, how many times in the past have you guys just felt straight up duped? Maybe, I hate to use terrible words, but ripped off? Does that happen?
Mantis comp.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's a fair one. The Mantis Cop, the refinery glitch. Go back to the Stella bug when people got hundreds of dollars worth of Stella blueprints for free. All right? There has been issues in this game that have had direct monetary consequences. They don't always fix them. They did this time.
Well, that's good.
And so that's why I have to. And somebody said this to me earlier today. Well, you shouldn't be happy about the bare minimum. No, the bare minimum is what they have done so many times, which is nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. So I have to. And by the way, I have to applaud every player advocate over there who worked to make this happen. And they're all the same people that you know and love. Okay? I believe that this makes players whole. And while I would love more, I am not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And I am going to say that I appreciate the solution that Echo came up with. I feel like they added 24 hours to it, which was not expected. And players are going to roll out and get their comp. Cruzito writes, there was compensation for those who actually spent money on a mislabeled pack. I was not one of them, as they actually had skin in the game on buying that pack. As for the other folks that didn't buy it, you didn't really lose anything by not buying it right away. You can feel disappointed by what is there now, but they didn't get what they paid for, so those players deserve it. If you don't feel what is in there now is justified, don't buy the pack. Let your wallet do the talking.
Okay,
I like that. I like that point.
I agree with him with one exception. We're all playing a game, and many of us are playing the game competitively. And I personally do not feel that it's good or right for something to have been made available for a price, which is you can no longer buy it at that same price. You're not getting the same thing for the same dollar amount. I realize I'm flipping back and forth here, but it's challenging to me to get behind, you know, day one, you're getting this value for this amount of money, and day two and beyond, you're not. And I understand why I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm not
Would
saying
it have been okay?
It's just frustrating.
Would it have been okay if there was a 24-hour timer on that pack, though? I mean, they do that every month. They do. Look at a lot of event store months. They have that day one loot pack. Would it have been different if there was a 24-hour label on it? All right, now
I mean that certainly helps, but I'm sorry I don't know the name. More DHD. I know that we know that person, but
yeah, that's Mord.
Mord. Okay, that's how they create inequity in the game, and you know that's sort of where I lean with that. It's like, you know, when you release a new feature, I get wanting to get people to log in on day one. That's just not how life works for many of us out there, and it would be great if instead of making that day one teaser being something that you can only get on day one that really changes the landscape of the game for the same price.
I think that was the intent here. That's why it had a 7-day timer. I think that was what we were. I think that's what we were looking for here. You know, and so Calbound says it wasn't day one. It was only a couple of hours. Yeah, but if you look at the announcement, they comped for the first 24 hours. They comped
they did do that.
They comped until the next natural refresh, the next natural localization clear. So somebody else says no, because it wasn't communicated that there would be a comp. I mean, they had to assess the situation first.
True, but they do need time to figure it out.
Yeah, they had to assess that situation, I think.
Either you bought it or you didn't. You got the comp, or you didn't buy it in time to get a comp. Bottom line, there's this new ship in the game. It's here. It's changing how we play in solo waves. Am I glad that I own the ship? I am glad that I own the ship. I'm getting the economy in the refinery is very good for me. The effort that I'm putting in by using it is very small compared to what I'm getting out of the game. So, you know, it's a great feature. So far, I really love the feature. It's just a shame that there was this day one quagmire. And now I hate it when, you know, how many months do they go into building a ship in the game?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just bam. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about this mistake on a pack for all this time instead of, you know, how great it is and how much it can really help you in your economy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and there is that. We're going to talk about the refinery tonight. You bring that up, and maybe a lot of this conversation might be moot. All right, because Scopely has heralded this ship as being the ship that is going to change ship part sourcing. My heaters.
What?
Yeah, didn't they say best source of parts ever? That's what they say.
Parts.
Yeah, best source of parts ever. Ladies and gentlemen,
for me, but
I would like to welcome to the stage at this particular moment in time the one and the only Jules Verne. What's up, Jules Verne? How you doing?
Our hero, our spreadsheet hero.
Mad scientist with a gleam in his eye, Jules Verne unraveling the why. Starship soaring through cosmic dread, talking Trek where the fleet has fled. Warp core humming under the stars, resources gathered from nebulous spars, teaching us tactics like a sly magician. Galaxy conquest becomes our mission. Talking Trek where the answers burn from the mad scientist Jules Verne. Navigate the stars where legends play in the Star Trek Fleet Command universe every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jules Verne is here. How you doing, buddy? Welcome into the show. How are you tonight?
I am doing well.
Fantastic.
Working a lot.
And he
so
quit.
Have not had.
That's it.
I've
That's the
not-
last of Jules Verne. We want to thank him for all of his time and effort for the last 6 years in the game.
He's like, yeah,
And-
I'm out. Pieces.
Oh boy.
It's like I'll never
Oh,
top
boy.
that theme song.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's true, actually. This is the pinnacle of
Well,
my
it's been
career.
nice to hear from you,
think
Jules. Thank you
retirement's
for
around the
coming in
corner.
today.
Hi. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I got you. Can Griffin not hear you?
Absolutely not.
Wait, you can hear him? I can't hear
Yeah,
Jules.
he's been talking the whole time.
What?
I wondered
on.
why you were being
This is
such
Hold
an
on.
ass.
I'm not an a-hole. I literally can't hear him. I thought he was gone.
Now I'm thinking about retirement all of a
I
sudden.
can't hear him.
Yeah, I'm getting forced out.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about? He's right here. He's trying to say hi, and you keep interrupting him, you rude ass.
Hold on.
Griffin,
You can yell
Found
things at him
something
right now,
better.
Jules. Yell things at him. He can't hear you.
Don't yell at me, Jules. I love Jules Verne.
This is great.
Hold on a second.
I can hear them both.
love me.
Oh, I heard him. I fixed it. I fixed it.
You
Hi,
had
Jules.
him muted? You had him muted?
I refreshed Discord.
He was muted.
I don't even know how to mute people. I don't know how to
I
mute people.
don't even know how to mute people. Well, hello.
How you doing,
Hi,
buddy?
how are
Long time
you?
no talk. Good to hear from you, sir.
No, working crazy long hours, building super cool shit.
Have you
it's been
built any
great.
pergolas?
Oh,
You know, I did. I'll share this photo. Give me a couple minutes to send it in the
jeez.
chat.
I knew it.
But
I had a feeling.
did.
Uh-huh.
I did. I have a scenic design that I'm working on that has a hidden Star Trek symbol
Ooh.
front and center in the design. Let me just post this here. So it's been fun. It's been fun. I love my job, but it is just a lot, a lot of work.
Oh, that is beautiful, dude. I'm seeing the picture here in our Discord chat. We'll definitely
pulling
get
it
that
up.
in the graphics room.
Where is it? I can't see it.
Then,
Do you
the-
have him
there
on
you go.
mute?
Okay,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
see
no.
what he posts?
No,
Is he muted?
I thought
Oh,
he posted
wow.
it in the circle. Thought he posted it in the circle. All right, I'll pull this up on screen for you guys to take a quick peek here.
That is super gorgeous. Wow,
Yeah, this
look
is
at that.
nice. So is this, tell us what this is that we're looking at. I'll put it in the graphics room for the podcast audience as well. What are we looking at here?
Well, the second photo here is a little bit more obvious. It's the front edge of a stage for a theater.
Wow.
No way. That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
So it's just a hidden little plexiglass piece in there. There's going to be geysers and lights shining.
Is that,
through it,
yeah, I was
and
going to
in
ask,
the
is that
end-
for uplights for the stage
Yeah.
people? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it's walkable. It's it's about 100-pound sheet of plexiglass, so it's really thick and heavy. So I'm going to take it out. I'm going to sandblast out a little bit more of the Federation logo on there, and then hang it in my office.
Is that a
Nice.
Disney production? That looks
is
really
so cool.
incredible.
In order to not dox myself, I'm not giving the show information.
Oh, fine. Beat him.
It'd be very easy. To
Listen,
Google
if you want expert advice on doxing here, I seem to be your guy
we-
here lately. Okay, I
We wear
got you.
company shirts. We wear company shirts. We hold up magazines with our full name and address on them for people to just screenshot. There's no
Yeah,
problem.
absolutely showing off proprietary private Zoom calls with inside information. Listen, I am
It's not
all
funny. I'm not laughing about
I'm
it.
all about it these days. All right, I've got you.
Oh,
I've got you
man.
on lock. All right. Well, Jules, it's always amazing to have you. Thank you very much for being here. I would like to. Dude, my browser is acting kind of weird at the moment. I'm trying to pull up your spreadsheet, but it's acting a little bit silly. Okay, here we go. Got it. Jules Verne, welcome in. Let's talk about the Jizz 31. What do you got for us, man?
Oh, the GS 31 for the last time. I give up.
Junker. Let's talk about
I think that you,
for the record.
you let in.
Hold on.
Okay,
For the
go
record, I just want
Yes.
everybody to know, since he is here and able to speak up, let's see how honest Jules Verne is. Jules Verne named the Jizz 31. All right, it was not me.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He never would do such a dirty deed.
All right. While we're doxing people around here, Jules, I'm going to out you right here. He's the one who named it, okay? Wasn't me, all right?
We're literally,
Play that sound clip.
in the meeting. We're literally in the meeting, and DJs and I are just having a private DM with just ha 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 ha. Did you hear what you said? Ha 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 ha. That
That's
laugh
true.
right
That's
there
true.
in text form.
That's
So
true.
this is not something you said, Jules. This is something you typed in a private chat to just one person.
Yes.
Well, I don't think that you can have that put on you. In fact, you can't even prove that, Ultimate DJs. I think that you're just using him as a scapegoat.
I totally can prove it. As I've already proven, I have the meeting on video, okay? I've already proven that.
Oh God.
Oh my God, I'm going to hell. Anyway, listen, I could go find it, okay? But yeah, no, that's absolutely really funny. So
That's
yes,
how you
it
turn
was
this
Jules.
into Talking Trek, the unofficial podcast of Star Trek Recommend.
I know. Hey, if we're gonna go down, we're gonna have fun doing it. All right. So anyway, yes, Jules, the Junker is here now.
Wait, I have a real question.
Okay.
What does GS stand for?
Garbage scowl.
That's what we thought, right? That was our thing. What is?
Yeah.
Is that what everyone else? Is that the actual terminology for it?
Yeah, it's from the
Wait a
Section
minute.
31 movie.
Did you say garbage scowl?
Scowl.
Scowl.
There's
Thank
no
you.
L.
Okay, good.
Scowl. Scowl. See, I'm Southern. It's garbage scowl. Scowl. SKSKALL.
Is this should be Dragon Keeper's favorite ship?
Yeah, it is Dragon Keeper's favorite ship. A flaming dumpster. That's right. It is.
Rev got the Revenant. Trash Keeper got his Junker.
I know everybody's getting ships but me. It's awesome. Anyway, this ship claims to be the game's best parts, ship part sourcing. All right, well, we're going to take a look at that here tonight. It also claims to be the ship for solar wave defense. It boasts to have a phenomenally powerful multi-gravitational beam. We're going to talk about that. And it introduces a brand new thing called a weakened state. We're going to talk about all that. Jules, I'd like to turn the stage over to you. Let's talk and let's do a little bit of teaching tonight. What is the GS31?
Well, the GS31 ship itself is kind of purpose-built for elite solo waves and the other solo waves as well. But I see that you have the refinery up, so we can talk a little bit about it. We've got some officer sourcing. It's got an interesting way of approaching. This is, I think, similar to, I can't remember the other one that has like a changing chance rate over the tiers. So it's similar to that, where your chances of higher tiers will, of higher shard counts per pull will change, but the cost does not change, and the actual shard counts don't change. Vindicator was brought up as that other option. Yep. I think what we're looking at is like you're basically getting 1.6 shards on average starting out. By tier 10, we're seeing you're getting 3 shards. So it's an increasing amount of shards that you'll get because that chance rate is going up. But what you get is going to be kind of a roll of the die. I think this is pretty much in line with the first iteration of a lot of refineries. This is not a bad officer acquisition source. It is not a great officer acquisition source. It's good. But it's, one of the things that may or may not have differed is the chest counts. So I think that there may be an option in the future, hopefully not Prime, but probably, where they may add chests to this in order to give you more shards. Who knows? That's officer acquisition. You wanted to bring up ship parts. That was your lead into this, and that was also their big pitch. So I've sent you a screenshot in the circle.
All right.
I'd like you to bring that up. It's just a side-by-side comparison with the other recent-ish ship part sourcing that is almost exactly the similar build, and that is the Eviscerator. So on the left side here, you see the GS31, and on the right side, you see the Eviscerator ship parts. And there's 2 distinct designs in here, and I kind of want to break this up a little bit. See, what they had started with the Eviscerator was trying to lock you into only getting the parts for the generation that you're in. But they made a last-minute change, and it was kind of haphazard the way they did that, right? So you see, if you're not G6, then you'll start getting G4 components, and then it'll add G5 when you get into the G5 range of the ship. If you're G6, well, you start with G4 components, getting nothing for G5 or G6. Then when you're in the G5 range, yes, you do get some common for your generation, but that's pitiful. But you're getting the max amount of G5. And then when you get to finally the last tiers of your Eviscerator, do you actually get quality G6 parts. So that was just heralded as just trash, right? We all kind of said, well, that's useless to me until I'm, max the ship, which is going to be forever in a day. What they've changed here, and based on a lot of player, the content creators and player advisory council and all the players in Discords have been saying, has just been, give us earlier access to the parts that we want. And you don't need to give us, the full Monty right away. We just want that slow trickle to begin at tier 1. That's basically what we've been asking for, right?
I will agree with you. Sorry, I was just letting you roll, man.
I figured Griffin had me muted again. I don't know. So that's what I think that's what we've all been asking for, is like, give us the trickle to start with. Give us a few parts, even if it's small, and then build up to that target that you are stating is the best, right? So if we look at the max levels of each of these generations, you can say, yeah, maybe this is the best. It's not technically the best for G4. Their max is not as good as the max for the Eviscerator. But the G5 is better, and the G6 is much better. So have they fulfilled their promise of having the best ship part sourcing?
I don't know, man. See, okay, I feel I am actually surprised by this, and I'm going to admit that I have basically lost all faith in the Vindicator. Okay, like I don't do anything with it. Okay,
well, that's the Vindicator. This is the Eviscerator.
Okay, fine, same thing. Okay,
both.
They're so slow. They're so slow, and I don't get the parts that I need out of it. All right, and now I'm looking at the Eviscerator, and I'm even more distraught because you're telling me that I have to go to tier 14 before I can start to earn rare parts. And even then, it's 25. I would be disgusted with that. All right. I would be absolutely disgusted with that. So on the other hand, Jules, when I saw this chart and I'm saying, okay, tier 6 is where it starts giving rare parts, which we expected and we knew, the 25 doesn't feel good. I mean, that doesn't feel good. If I were to take a look at, my ship right now, and I don't know if I have a tier that's going to start taking. Yeah, okay. So I'm at tier 7 on my Velox. One component costs 1,007 rare interceptor parts. Okay? 1,007 for one weapon on my Velox. So, fine. 1,000 for one component. When I saw this chart saying, ooh, I can get 25 parts, I'm thinking to myself, stupid. Like, I don't know what the math is on that. Someone want to do that for me real quick? Is that 40 days for a single component?
But here's the thing. Like, what are you comparing it to? That's the problem. You need to compare it to something. You can't just say, I've got this stupid amount of parts cost. Why does this new thing not max my ship in 2 days?
I'm not.
Hold on. That's a whale perspective. What you need to do, to be fair, is compare it to everything else in the game, right? If we compare it just straight to the other ship refinery that has the same type of concept, which is the Eviscerator, it is better.
Okay.
Is it not? Not true. Okay.
It is.
Is it good? Is it like mind-blowingly lots of ship parts?
See, that's where I struggle. I believe that I am looking. I don't want to compare it to the Eviscerator because it was a failure. So if I'm looking at this, I want to compare it to time. And that is something that we've talked about in the past. Like, how long should it take to get a single component of a ship? All right. When you're looking at a ship that has 8 components, how long should a single component take? How long should a tier take? All right. If I'm looking at this ship, I'm tier 7 on the Velox. Okay. That is still relatively young as far as a tier. I would expect that this tier, I should be able to grind out in 30 to 45 days.
Why? Why do you feel that way?
Because the game moves.
That parts cost that you just showed me is $100 pack. So you're telling me that you should earn $100 pack of those ship parts every 40 days?
Am I investing time? I've already spent $300 on this ship. All right. So they also told us that this thing would give out the equivalent of multiple packs per month. Okay. Now, that was more of a general broad statement, and I get that. If I'm looking for 1,000 ship parts, let me just look. Let's look and see what it compares to in a pack. Maybe we don't compare to time, Jules. Maybe we don't compare to time. Maybe we don't compare to the Eviscerator. Let's compare like Scopely does. They do events based on packs, right? So let's take a look at our just regular, good old-fashioned Interceptor pack. All right, 1,000 parts. So if I'm earning 25 a day for 30 days, well, okay, Jules is going to smack me down with logic. That's roughly $75 in parts then. Is that what you're saying? And if I were having this thing at a higher tier, let's say I was at tier 10, 40 times 30, it is more than a $100 pack. Maybe the numbers on the chart being so small underwhelm us, but maybe they did deliver. I don't know. That's what you're trying to drive at, isn't it, Jules?
I'm trying to drive at what they promised is technically true. When they had designed this content, it is the best sourcing for parts. When they had designed this content and they compared it to things like packs, as you are doing now, it is valuable and giving you more than one pack a month when you have tiered it appropriately. But here's the thing. What they didn't think about was what was literally just released last month. And that is refinery overhaul favor and the ship parts conversion.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. And I just posted this in the circle. I'll post this in the chat room as well. Here is a poll that I literally just did. It offered me 32 rare parts, 1,100 uncommon, and 5,000. If I look at the charts, that's giving me more uncommon and common than a max GS31 in this single pull. And it's giving me, about roughly a tier 6. But I'm probably going to get a similar number on 4 different ship parts and be able to convert all 4 of those into one of the ship parts that I need. Meaning I really earned roughly 120 rare parts from doing a normal refinery. So here's if we are comparing it to literally what was just released last month, is this the best ship part sourcing? Probably not.
Just to ask or to answer the question, Ramscoop says that you're looking at 1 roll versus 2 rolls. Or I think he was talking about the refinery. Is it being multiple rolls, and then you're getting twice because it's every 10 hours you get a chance to do that. Just for comparison's sake, if you do look inside the GS31 refinery, you do only get 1 pull of that a day, and it is on a 22-hour cooldown. So the ship parts that you're earning are pretty much what you have in the chart. For me, as far as G6 rare, that is going to be only 25. TJ says, DJs, let me remind you of the game you used to talk to us about, the game of nickels and dimes. All right. And I think that is absolutely something that we have to look at here, because how many times, Jules, have we always talked about the multiple tools that exist in the game? We were talking different things that we can do to accomplish larger targets. All right. Cloaking, Cerritos boost, Titan, Lorca's Fist, exocomps, officer abilities in some cases. All right. All these tools that exist in your tool belt. And, here's the thing, Dragon Keeper. You said taking dollars and paying pennies. You're looking at it from a right here thing. But I remember, Jules, do you remember going back and talking about I remember this. I don't know if we knew each other back then, but when the original G3 refinery primes came out, we did the math on it. Basically buying that $100 prime and then what it would give you in the refinery over the course of 6 months or a year. That was 6 years ago. Now, granted, that was G3, and they've done it in G4, 5, and 6 since then. But that is the perfect explanation, Dragon Keeper, is that this is a pay over time kind of thing. I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day. They asked me why I didn't buy the prime for temporal disruptors. You know what my answer was, Jules? I didn't buy it early enough.
And that's valid. I feel the same way for that.
Yeah. If I were to have bought it in its opening month, even in its opening week, it would have paid me out gargantuanly by now. Why don't I buy it now? I've done most of that content. All right, I've done most of that content. The ROI on that today would be far, far, far less.
Not worth it.
Yeah, not really. So when you look at this particular ship, all right, you're looking at this particular refinery, I have to subtly agree that the earlier you start doing this, the better off you are. Okay? I can certainly see Dragon Keeper's point of, 100 days from now and then, 100 days to level this thing up. Because, Jules, we also have the time to tier up, which I would like to talk a little bit about here in just a moment as well. Giving players some real kind of projections on where and when they can be with this thing. I think that's very important for players to know when they're looking at this. But Jules is abstractly correct. Even though these numbers look small, they are the single best source of these parts when it comes to a loop. And then if you take everything, this is one thing, Jules, that we used to do. We don't do it as much anymore. Has anybody written down all of the rare ship parts they can actually earn throughout?
Big one right there. That's impressively large.
Thank you. Has anybody written down all the ship parts that they can actually earn in a day? I mean, Jules, it's probably more than we think.
Actually, I do have. I've been tracking my income over time. There's too many sources to track them that way. So
There is, isn't there?
28. I've been earning 2,800 rare interceptor parts every 20 to 30 days.
2,800, which means on average, you're getting 10 a day, ballpark? 10 to 12 a day?
100 a day.
I am so positive.
Yeah.
So
I'm full
2,800,
of positive
Uh-huh.
energy.
Okay,
28
right.
days.
Yeah.
100 a day is about my average.
Ballpark 100 a day. Okay, I like that.
Each ship type, I would say, because I have not converted any. So this would be each.
And that's just refineries and armada pulls, right? That's not talking converters or events.
No, that's total income. That's total income of
Okay.
everything I do in basically the month of March.
You couldn't technically
Okay.
count converters, though, because you're paying parts to get parts, right? Like, that one
and
doesn't count.
I haven't done any conversions yet,
Yeah.
so that's not included.
Okay.
He also said interceptor parts, I thought.
He
Yeah,
said
I was being
each
specific
part.
with one ship type because that's all I was
Yeah.
tracking.
Yeah.
Right.
Just interceptor.
So he could have converted to get interceptor parts was my point.
True. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Now, if we're earning 100 a day, and this is where chat's going to be like, damn it. All right. If you're earning 100 a day, is 25 a day a 25% boost in parts income? And that's only at tier 6. Is 50 a day a 50% parts boost increase? And if we were looking at a prime, if we were just looking at a straight up prime that said, hey, we're going to give you 50% guaranteed more rare ship parts every single day. Now, granted, that's a prime. But, I mean, if we were looking at it and it said guaranteed 50% more rare parts guaranteed every single day, how many people buying that prime?
Oh, yeah.
So this is why the data.
Make 2 more points.
This is why the data matters. All right, it looks underwhelming. I totally get it. Looks underwhelming, but there's some math in this game that does support the claim. All right, and you're probably going to feel it. I mean, if Jules is actually tracking 100 a day, all right, then 125 or 150 or even 160 a day is a massive jump from what he was getting before. Go ahead, Jules.
Cruzito has been making this point. I wanted to get to it. Was that it is really well set up for Ops 61 players to start earning rare parts.
Oh yeah,
and we have to call out any time that you can get something better than what was originally designed. What's better than the refinery locks? What's better than other ship locks due to their warp ranges? At 61, you're earning rare parts. So this is pretty good. Definitely with other ship types too. Like
I'm going to draw a comparison.
51.
We'll draw a comparison on this thing. What is another piece of content, Jules, that was less spectacular for the high G6 players and was absolutely bee's knees for Ops 61? As soon as you say it, you'll absolutely know it's the right answer. There's a couple items that maybe could qualify, but this one was a big one when it first came out. Thank you, Omicron. The Monavine skin.
Yeah.
Hazard.
The Monavine skin. Yeah, the pickle refit with all that Sigma. All right. Huge for Ops 61. Meh for Ops 65 and for Ops 70. Okay. Meaning the earlier that you bought it, the better off you were. Kind of like you would be with Syndicate Prime. Kind of like you would be with Prime Parts. Kind of like you would be with the Prime Temporal Disruptor. Whatever. Okay? Because I'm here to tell you, ship parts are never going to go away. Let's fast forward 2 to 3 years, Jules, when we get around to the days of G6 scrapping.
Oh, no. What?
What?
Just
Leaks.
Leaks. Don't tell back. don't tell back.
That's not even a funny joke.
That's a hilarious
B8
joke.
confirmed by DJs. B8 confirmed.
Just
Aren't you in enough trouble this week?
I know.
Come on, man.
I know, it's why I love doing it. Anyway,
Just blame
listen.
me.
When G6 scrapping eventually comes around, there's nobody out here going to be complaining that there's too many G6 parts.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, listen, there are players right now that still are struggling to find the parts to do G4 scrapping, and G5 scrapping doesn't exist yet. And when it does, players are going to want those parts too. I am not trying to get fired. That was a pure hypothetical. We don't even have G5 scrapping, much less G6 scrapping. Give me a break.
That's
G8 confirmed in 3 years. It's probably closer to 4. Just say it.
Hey, at least that's job security.
All right.
To wrap up, officer acquisition, good. Not great, good. Ship parts, great. They actually did deliver. It doesn't look great, but over time, it will pay out dividends. I do want to say, too, like the time to, say, max the ship versus the time to max the research, they did a nice balance there. Meaning, like, we don't know exactly the time to max the ship because we don't know the ship parts income for the last 3 tiers. My guess it's going to be somewhere around 250 days, which I think is healthy, is a good number. I think that's a much better number than the Defiant, which was 600 days at launch. It's even better than the Revenant pre them fixing it, which was a few hundred days on that as well. So this is actually a pretty fast ship to upgrade. What it doesn't do is there was typically like an exponential growth curve. Like it was pretty easy to get through the first few tiers of these other ships, and then it really struggled the last few tiers. Here, it's pretty steady. every 15 to 20 days, you're going to the next tier. Then, okay, wait another 20 days, go to the next tier. So to get to tier 6, this was your question mark, to get to tier 6 is about 2 months.
2 months natively. So 5 months from now, for a true free-to-play, 5 months from now, you could end up increasing your parts income anywhere between 25 and 100%, depending on your generation. All right. Now, somebody's going to say in the chat, the best source of G5 rare parts still remains scrapping G4 ships. Jules, is that substantiated?
I would say yes, particularly with the ship parts conversion. I think the ship parts conversion, we cannot undersell how much that is going to change your game when you're thinking about your strategy. If you're a type of player who's going to build all 3 ships of every single rarity, well, then the ship parts conversion is useless to you. But if you're the type of person who's at each rarity building 1 ship type, and you can kind of bounce back and forth between what ship you're actually going to use, well, then the jelly loot now has so much more value. Being able to scrap the jelly, then scrap G4 explorers, then get a bunch of parts for your G5 explorers, that's huge. And then you're scrapping your other G4 ships and using those and converting them. It's huge. It's going to be massive. Yeah, like Packet says, jelly to NA, and then you can convert that to another ship part. So, yes, best source of G5 rare parts indeed is scrapping G4 ships. And I think that with this GS31, the true benefactors of that ship are G6 players because we do not have a scrapping mechanic yet.
Okay, very good.
And adding on to Jules' point, and Packet's point, doing the jelly and the Entei and the ship parts in general, those all count for Matt's spend events. And we're always looking for more ways to get things to spend in spend events. So scrapping G3 ships to scrap G4 ships to scrap G5 someday ships gets more points.
Swifty has my eyeballs rolling back in my head in my chat right now, Jules.
Oh boy.
I don't know that I was aware of this. Swifty says, you guys aren't mentioning that you can now convert lat to any ship part? Commons through rares?
You can buy commons. It's a little bit, you have to get to 0 commons in order to buy them. So you have to kind of spend all your commons somehow in order to then buy commons. So it's a little bit of a catch-22.
And you have
to get to 0 commons of that particular ship type.
And you also can't do it where you buy the full ship part component. You have to specifically just buy the parts and not equip the component.
Yeah.
So wait a second.
Wait.
It's really hard to not screw it up.
Are we actually talking about converting lat to commons and then using the parts converter to go from common to uncommon and then uncommon to rare? Do you know how many tokens that's going to cost?
Ooh.
It's
Do you know how desperate some people are?
Getting down to 0. But this is the thing. It's not like an exploit. It's not like you're going to be able to spend 10 million lat to get whatever amount of rare parts you're going to get. That's not what you're going to be able to do. You're going to be able to convert a pitiful amount to get a pitiful amount. It is a nice little
Swifty,
extra bit.
Swifty, you got me really excited for a second until I realized the mechanics of that. And I'm like, why? Why are we even talking about this right now? Why, Swifty?
Let's move on. I want to get into the ship and talk about what the ship does, because there is 3 different modes for the ship.
Yes.
One of which is its mode inside of elite waves and solo waves. I can't just say elite waves because it does work on the other solo waves. So it's got 3 major things that it does. It has Apex Shred that is native to the ship level. It has a damage bonus that is native to the ship level. And it has the beam itself. Now, there is additional things that will help. There's additional researches that will boost these things, including having a beam damage multiplier, or not a multiplier, just a bonus that will be added on. Now, that is ops-based. And here's the cool thing. we talked about the pack being the accelerant for accelerated players, but the research is the hidden gem here. Because even with a tier 1 ship, if you are a high G6 player, say an op 70 or even 68 or even a 67, you can take a tier 1 and max that research and be able to kill ships in the G6 Elite solo waves with that beam. That's nuts. Like, it's immediately useful. Now, it's not super useful because you're only killing the weakest ships, but it does point to a way of accelerating to get closer to your ops level where you should be with that ship earlier on without having to tier it. So let me give you a little bit more specific. So you kind of need to like scroll down just like a scotch, just like another chart level. Just a little more. There you go. Okay. We'll focus in on this chart that you're looking at right dead center. What can you beam with? When can you beam WD hostiles? Man, I was really tired when I wrote that. I took each of the different hostiles and the levels, and I took the hull health points of each of those ships, those hostiles that you're doing. Then what I did is I added up not only the base beam damage, but I also added the research for the ops that would have that tier ship. So that was the fairest way of doing these comparisons. It's not truly what's going to happen because people are going to have a tier that isn't maxed for their ops and be all over the place. But this is just a way of having that comparison. And then comparing what tier ship you would need to beam that hostile. So let's just focus in on, say, G5. Well, you've got your Orion 51s, and somehow, I don't know how this happened, but the Orion 50, the 50s are harder than the 51s. Weird. Just, it's there. It's in the data. It's the thing. You got your 55 Orions, and you got your Reavers 50 and 55. And you can see what tier, basically, 6 or 7 on average for the early ones. And then you basically need to max it. No, not max it. You'd actually need to bring it to the next tier to be able to beam the very last hardest hostiles. That's pretty consistent, right? Like, you shouldn't be able to just get through the whole wave just by beaming. You kind of need to push yourself a little bit and get to the next ops progression level to like actually beam that last target. That makes sense. I'm not fussy about that. You look at G6, 8, 10, 10, 10, 11. That's early G6 entry for that ship. That makes sense. This is basically saying, hey, this GS31 ship is going to be able to handle any hostile in there with its beam alone. Not necessarily, combat ability, not necessarily attacking, because I don't actually have enough analytics to say that for sure. But beaming it with a little bit of research with that tier, you're going to be able to kind of take on most of the hostiles in your generation, which is very cool.
I'm actually looking through this chart right now. This is exactly what Echo was talking about, though, isn't it? Tier 5 is where this ship is going to start to become useful for G5. That's what he said. Tier 10 is where the ship is going to start to become useful for G6. Now, we're looking here at beam data. We have not talked about the actual combat abilities of this ship, which are probably going to be very, very hard to quantify, because it's got such a massive damage bonus as its passive ability. But even looking here at what these what this ship can beam with its research and the tier of ship, this is actually pretty remarkable. You're telling me, Jules, that by the time I get this ship to tier 10, I can beam anything in G5 is what you're telling me. I could beam the biggest ships in the G5 Elite Wave, and so I can play 4 rounds, get into round 5, and just beam it and be done.
Well, not at tier 10. So if you see that very last one, the Reaver 70s, they have 17 billion full health.
Well, I was saying the G5 one. The G5 one, though.
G5, yes,
yeah.
Yes.
You're right, GG. I just did it. Yes.
That's insane. I mean, that's cool. That actually takes the ship where it crosses over. And I'm gonna probably sound chilly for a second. This almost is like 3 masteries in one, right? By the time you get to tier 6, and by the way, it's not tier 5. It looks like it's probably about tier 6. By the time you get to tier 6, which is the entry to G5 land, you have mastered G4. You can literally beam the whole damn thing. By the time you get to tier 10, all right, which is where G6 starts, you could just beam G5 and be done. You've mastered G5. It's built-in mastery. Carissa says, but I'm 66. That's punching down. Yeah. Except, is it punishing me for punching down? Is it? Let me see if I can find the thing that I want to go to. There we go. There we go. Right here. No, this is not the one I want. Where is it? This is the one I want. Right here.
Scroll right. Yeah.
There we go. Is it actually a punch down, Carissa? I don't know. All right. You tell me. If I can only clear, say, wave 3 or wave 4 of the G6, but I can beam and clear G5. I mean, listen, unless I can completely clear the G6, clearing the G5 pays me more than even wave 4 of the G6. Excuse me. So even if I cleared wave 4 of the G6, to punch down and clear the entire G5 pays me more.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the events, right? Like I would only be doing the G5 fleets.
Absolutely. We said that on Tuesday. Guys, the SMSs, with love to my boy, the SMSs are not encouraging you to play this feature correctly. Okay? They're not. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I said it last month. I told Echo. I've said it to you guys this month. They have missed the mark on these SMSs. It is prohibitive. They are not correct. They're not targeting the right players with the right events. They're just not. The game designers had one thing in mind. Live Ops had another thing in mind. And for the record, that's fine. This is not the first time that's happened. Okay. I remember Mirror. You remember when Mirror first came out and we had to go in there every single day, but they were like, no, our intention is for you to go in there like once or twice a week. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is that same kind of thing where Live Ops and game design are not on the same page. All right, and I told Echo this. He's like, listen, it's not going to change. All right, I told you guys this on Tuesday. It's not going to change. It is what it is. These are events that I am going to encourage you guys to, if you want to do the event, fine. Okay, but you will progress further in the loop by not participating in the event. Isn't that crazy?
From an economy standpoint, yes.
From an economy standpoint, you will progress further and earn more in this loop by ignoring the solo milestones. Now, the solo milestones have rewards. Some of them have event store loot. They might have something else that you want in there, and that's fine. Guess what? Now you have choice. Now you've got a choice. You could do the SMSs and earn less in the loop, but earn more in the SMS. That's fine. Okay? Your choice, your pick. But yes, I agree, Carissa. Game design and live ops are not on the same page when it comes to what we should be hitting.
Right, but the other waves, so the alpha and up waves, that's just your regular G6 solo, right? If we're talking about G6 players. The Theta, Sigma, Omega, that is for doing the elite waves with the new ship. Right, so you have to buy the ship in order to do that, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, right. And you have to keep it alive too.
And basically, it's useless. You just put it in the corner and you do your thing. I mean, for upper G6 players, they can probably clear wave 3, which completes those. Or wave 1s and 2s are really easy because there's no of the reavers.
But Jules, you're talking about clearing wave 3.
Most of the event.
Yeah, I'm clearing wave 3 and earning 4,000 loot Or I can clear wave 5 of the previous generation and literally earn 50% more.
Right?
That's where it
I got
is.
5 starts. We all got 5 starts, right? I used 1 and got those 3 events done. So now I get to use the other 4 and bank loot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a me perspective where I'm like, I got plenty of directives. I don't care where I spend them.
Well,
It's
and
gonna be
that's a
awesome.
fair thing. You know what?
I'm getting
That
paid
demonstrates
so
the
much
beauty
for
of this right here, though. Okay, that demonstrates the
Yeah.
beauty of this right here is that there is some choice. We as players have discovered a strategy, and Jules is teaching it to you here, and you get to choose your rewards and how much of those rewards, whether it's loop progression or whether it's SMS rewards, but you get to choose how you do this. All right, but at the end of the day, these events don't encourage each other. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't encourage what the design of this loop clearly is. And that's fine, by the way. It doesn't necessarily have to. This is going to create a little bit of divisive gameplay, and I'm fine with that. Okay? I'm totally cool with that. But I do listen, just at the end of the day, Jules. I mean, it's obvious that what one person thinks we should be able to do is not what the other person kind of built this thing for us to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Fireball says,
right.
man, this sheet has been amazing, Jules. I just looked up what would make me the most loot. That is going to be where I focus. Thank you so much for teaching us how amazing we can be. Oh, isn't that
That's
sweet?
very sweet.
That's so
Kisses.
nice. It's so nice. All right.
But I want to go back to the ship and maybe we can talk about because I don't have a lot of details. If there's any like successful screenshots of it hitting above its capability, we can kind of share those. But I haven't been able to play in more than one. I've literally done one Elite Wave. That's it.
I think I've done like 2 or 3. Yeah, I haven't done that many. I've been busy.
I'm planning on doing more tonight, but I wanted to go back to the ship and discuss very shortly the 2 non-loop utilities that it has.
Absolutely.
That is PvE only. So this is outside of waves, but using your PvE beam damage. Now, this is a change in what you said, but I don't remember this being a change in the playtest. The beam targets increase with that research by 1 and then 2. That was always all non-amount of hostiles. That was not just solo waves. So it's good. It's good that it's using more. And Mort is saying, hey, let's talk about arena use. Perfect example. Very early on, the GS-31 will be able to beam several of the hostiles and immediately, without even loot crews, be able to get you a bunch of that currency to start the armada, the directives, or the armadas. So great use there, okay? The other, and that is all Armada crews, but here is, I think, my complaint, and I haven't done a full analysis on every tier and what that means for those ops at that tier, but just looking at a max ship and what that beam damage can do at 16 billion, that's roughly a 63 or a 64 hostile ship. It takes an Op 67 to get there, which means they're always going to be punching down several levels, which means it's not going to complete your faction dailies. Womp, womp, womp. Just me. Okay. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm actually sending a
of
text
any
message.
other uses.
Sorry, I was
I
actually
don't know
writing
of
it.
any
I
other-
hit the
I
wrong
moved
button.
right on.
I hit the wrong button when I
Move
came over.
right
Sorry.
You? Wrong button?
Yeah, wrong button.
I don't know of many other uses outside of factions that have a low hull health that make it easy to use that beam or make it make sense to use that beam for a loop. So does this have utility outside for PvE? Maybe arenas, maybe something else. I don't really feel like it's there. Lord Prax has nailed it on the head. There's probably going to be a beam damage and multiplier one of the things that we as content creators had suggested pretty early on is, hey, I know that you've done this specific beam damage increase for solo wave hostiles. Can't you add that same sort of bonus to another specific hostile type, like faction? So you say, hey, we can make it great for faction by adding this research in the future. Um, so I think that there's some possibilities there that I hope they explore, because right now it doesn't really have any use outside of solo waves, possibly arenas for PvE. PvP. Now here's the thing. They don't actually have the data in stfc.space of what the base beam damage in PvP is, but there is. And this was surprising to me. There is a native base damage in PvP, and we are starting to collect that information. And I would love the community's help to also help collect that information. We're missing tier 2, tier 3, very easy tiers for a lot of players who've purchased the ship, to figure out what that base is. Now, there's also a research that's going to increase that.
Is that the
I
gravitational focus blast?
don't remember right off the top of my head.
That one, let me see. That one, gravitational focus blast, it increases the GS31's gravitational blast damage against players. I think
Yes,
that's what
that's
it is.
it. That's the one. So that one, it still is a very small amount. So what are we doing with this beam? Well, I
Well-
think what they've learned from the cube in arenas is that very high level cubes are just wrecking players, like being able to be most of their support ships, most of their smaller ships. So this is going to help with not trying to overpower those ships. Like even a high ops level player, you're looking at adding maybe half a billion damage. That's not even a G5 ship yet. Like I think a lot of G5 ships, if you're playing in arenas with a G6 player, you're probably at a billion at least full health with your warships.
I don't know if he wants to throw up the whale counter, if he's taking the call, but even at level 10, that gravitational focus blast is only 180 million bonus.
Yeah, so what you have, that 180 million bonus
At tier
oh yes
10.
yes, I see it. Yeah, the level 10,
Level 10, yeah.
which requires op 70.
So that's nothing
So-
to really write home
Exactly.
about so much. Maybe more the shred blast I was looking at, because that's
Right.
150, 25% bonus there on shred.
Well, there's that, but there's also like the native beam damage. So if you max the ship, or I think we got tier 14 data, which is 1.1 billion damage. So you add the 180 to that, you're looking at 1.3. That's doing really nothing for an op 70 player. Like they're not going to kill any ships. But that was kind of the point. That's what DJz was saying when the ship was released. It's not about actually hurting the player. It's going to take a little fraction of a thing off, but it's also going to be powerful enough to clear out any support ships in arena. So it actually does have a specific arena use. A lot of players are flying Mantises in there, right? Or flying their Cerritos in there, or flying something else that's small but fast to try to help out. I mean, speed cruise, whatever. But this is going to help kind of clear out some of those. Now, to answer some questions that aren't in chat, but I assume that they're out there, you do not have a multi-beam target. There is no research to increase the beams to players. They actually could not figure out the tech on how to do this. So in a fair way. So all it's going to do is going to be one target when you select that. When it does do that beam, it also adds the weakened status effect. And that debuff duration is actually changing by tier.
Oh,
This is also not in the data that we can ascertain from the ship itself, whether it's in the ship info. This is basically something you're just going to have to find out by hitting a player with the beam. So there's actually debuff duration, which is not great because, so for instance, let's say you are using, just like the Mantis, you'd sting a player and then you'd go and attack that player, right? Mord, we do not know the max duration. If you sting a player, you could then go attack the player. Well, you have to get to that player first. So at tier 1, your debuff duration is 10 seconds. I don't care if you've maxed all those researches. if you got that 125% apex shred, if you can't initiate a battle in 10 seconds against that player with your warship, that debuff does nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you still have to deal with the 6-minute cooldown, which basically means, well, you've punched your chance in arenas and you didn't get there, and oh darn. That changes, right? Like as you get, so we've got some data like tier 10, tier 11 that shows, hey, roughly 2 minutes debuff duration. You're definitely going to be able to get to your target, or at least someone on your team is going to get to that target. And then your cooldown is about 2.5 minutes at tier 10. So you'll be able to maybe beam twice in an arena, or beam twice in an elite solo wave if you get lucky. Like you do a first beam right off the bat and a second beam at the very end. So that's what we're looking at for PvP. Griffin, I have not looked deeply into the debuff PvP factors. I see that you had the Apex shred up. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the 120% Apex shred?
I mean,
let's just ask you and not DJs.
It's more than a teardrop in the sea, for sure. It's something that will.
It's obscene. It's ridiculous. It's gargantuan. It ruins PvP.
It's kind of exciting.
Destroys the game.
I might be investing in that as we speak. But yeah, I mean, that compared with the officers this month, you put those officers on that ship plus this thing maxed. Are you kidding me? Kabam. Kaplooey.
Stupid.
Kaplooey.
Shred, Count DeVille. And it doesn't destroy the game. It just destroys PvP. We've spent 2 years digging ourselves out of a hole.
Here we go.
Let's
play the file
years.
in. PvP.
Yeah, pretty much, Brett. That's exactly right. Mirror Universe, Uhura, other PvP Apex barrier. I'm not going to say pointless, but certainly neutered to a very high degree.
Okay, listen.
PvP
This is how we walk. We put the right foot in front, and then the left foot in front, and then the right foot in front, and then the left foot in front, and the game marches on.
You just hit your desk and a USB disconnected somewhere. I'm just letting you know.
I wonder what that was. What was that?
You heard it, so you know it. You know it's true.
That is true. Well, we're still on the air, so that's fine. The point that I'm making is it's all in the iteration and the life cycle of the game.
I know.
PvP is going to go this way, and then it gets come back, and then that's how they keep selling. It's like buying jeans in the store, DJ. This year the acid wash is the trend, and then next year the legs are going to be the trend, the wider leg. Then you're going to have the boot cut. Then you're going to have the dark jeans with the ripped knees. I mean, you're always buying new stuff.
I'm tired of buying new stuff, bro. When do I get a chance to play with the toys I already bought?
You can at any time. All you have to do is just retire from STFC and go 100% Wordle. Just play Wordle all day.
Wordle all day. I got to be honest with you. In our group Wordle, I have not played for several days. I've been busy and just dealing with drama.
I know it's not because I have broken your spirit, and you know that you can never beat my Wordle average of 2.9.
No. You, first of all, I don't pay for a subscription, so I can't track my statistics.
You don't have a New York Times subscription? That's only like $5 a month. That is a great newspaper.
No, why would I
free.
read a newspaper when I can read it on the interwebs? Okay.
Well, in case you want to get into a political debate with Dr. Juby, then you'll know the latest and greatest what's going on.
I avoid politics at all costs. They're so cracked out. Everybody's cracked out. Washington is cracked out. They're all cracked out.
You get the word.
All of them.
You're starting to sound like Dragon Keeper. Everything's trash to you.
It's all trash, okay? It's all trash.
You are such
Omicron
a
said.
Debbie Danner. You're going to have to come visit me. We'll get you in the jacuzzi. Half an hour, you'll be a new man.
Okay, you know what? That's a great segue. I'm going to let people know here real quick. Tarpy, where are you at? Let's do a quick segue and promote our big party that we've got coming up in a couple of weeks. And then we'll come back to Jules for a final wrap-up, and we'll get ready to end our show. Look at that.
There's a party? Where's the party?
On time tonight.
There's a party.
There's a party.
Party.
There's a party, and it's not in your pants. I'm just kidding. It might be.
When was anybody going to tell me that there's a party? What?
First of all, you've been gone for weeks. You've been gone for weeks, man. Okay.
He told me he was asking you too.
No,
so,
I've never heard DJs utter the word party.
In all fairness,
once.
hold on. In all fairness, I have only talked to him once since he's been back from Malibu. And
not for lack of you trying.
Right, because I texted that boy. I texted that boy many times.
Oh, no. I have all the texts right here.
Yeah, I know you do. I texted you so many times. And I would get back, yo, I'm working. I'll call back, and then you never call back. Yo,
you know when
hey,
you're,
oh my God.
I
when
had
you're
to
on
send
a hot
a text.
set, they could kick you off the set if you even take the phone out of your pocket. I'm at great risk.
I sent a text that
great
said,
risk.
"Bro, are you alive?" He's like, "I'm in hell." He did. He wrote, "I'm in hell." So I wrote him a text. I said, "Are you good?" He's like, "I'm in hell." Anyway,
I was in home theater hell. That was this guy. That was this clown trying to figure out what's going on with this receiver, and he was just absolutely not. He didn't have it. He was not the business.
All right. Anywho, Tarpy,
when's this party?
Tell the people.
Before she explains it, is this the 24-hour stream you're bringing
my God.
up?
Matters, first of all.
24-hour stream?
Matters, first of all, why would you steal that from Tarpy? A. B, why are you trying to mansplain what a party is? You know what? Matters is
I'm
our
not
resident.
mansplaining. I got bingo. I win.
Wait, where'd Griffin go? Griffin!
Damn it, Matters.
God, why did you
24-hour stream? I had to take a phone call.
Yeah. All right. Listen, Tarpy, without Matters interrupting you all manly like, will you tell?
Yeah, explained it again.
Yeah.
Again.
God,
That's
Matters.
twice in a week. Boot him off the stage. God. My Matter.
I mean, you had me until you referred to her as honey, and then it was just off the rails.
Listen, doll. All right. Are you talking about the 24-hour stream that I know that you wanted to break just now? I know. Anyway, all right, Tarpy, tell the people what they don't already know.
So there might be a 24-hour stream. I don't know if you heard.
No, I have not heard.
But that's the thing, though. It's not starting out at 24 hours. It is starting out at 23 hours and 58 minutes.
Oh, because it couldn't last 2 more minutes?
Exactly.
You just get ready. I'm getting ready for my 24-hour stream. All right, go ahead and tell me.
He's holding right now, podcast audience. He's holding 9 cans of Ghost Energy.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
Dude. Okay. Please talk to your dentist.
Oh,
those things are super acidic.
Yeah, they're fine. Everything is fine. Oh my God! Wait, did we just get
so much?
We just hit a bingo.
What happened?
We just hit. You did it on purpose. Matters did it on. He did it on purpose. Matters did it on purpose to hit a bingo. You son of a biscuit. He did it on purpose to hit a bingo. Oh my God.
That's very manipulative.
That was very manipulative. I am rescinding your bingo. That was rigged. All right.
Can you do that?
I am rescinding your bingo. I am taking your bingo, sir.
I was clarifying that what you were bringing up using different words was still actually the 24-hour stream. I wanted to make sure I had bingo before I shouted bingo.
Oh, wow.
So Matters.
Very deceptive.
Let me get this right.
That was rude.
Let me get this right.
Phew.
You mansplained me for like 5 minutes on Tuesday.
I did.
And then you deny it, first of all. And then today, you butt into my conversation when I've been specifically invited
What a banana.
to talk about something.
Oh my God. That was Tarpy's big news. She's the big party planner, you ass.
I'm just going to have to open up by Tarpy. It's okay. The surprise is not ruined. I have no idea what anybody's talking about. So you can tell me for the first time ever what is going on around here while I open up my Black Cherry Ghost Energy and
Oh my God.
You know, I don't know if I have any idea what's going on around here on an average day, but I feel like that's normal for pretty much everybody, so it's probably fine.
I don't know what's happening either. That's why I asked Tarpy to tell.
That's
Yeah.
terrifying. Um,
But does he ever know what's happening?
Never.
do
All right.
any of us? This is fantastic. Oh, okay. So in what, 2.5 weeks? Is that
Oh,
it
no.
depends on you guys. It would be 2 weeks from tomorrow or Saturday. This part, I think DJs was waiting to actually get your, availability on Griffin.
The weekend.
Um,
The
I
weekend
can
of the
do
25th.
Saturday the 26th. Yes,
that would
I
be
can
fine.
do that.
That's what I was thinking. Either the Friday the 25th, Saturday 26th. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So sometime during that weekend, DJs wants to start a 24-hour stream to start raising money for the cruise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, by the
And,
way,
well,
Tarpitude, did we
yep.
hit our 3 months of
Yes,
our
sir.
Partner Plus?
We did.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes. Everybody.
Randomly. Yeah. It was like impressively quick. Wait, that's not nice. So it
That's
was
what she
impressive. Exactly.
I need a button.
DJs started asking for subs and needed like 140 of them. And within about 10 minutes,
It went wild.
he had all of them.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It was a pretty cool conclusion to that event. It went nuts.
Well, I'm sorry I missed it, man, but I'm glad it worked out great.
Yeah, no, it did.
Yes.
Appreciate everything. Thanks for all the support from everybody. As a matter of fact, we have not yet
You
given
are a
away.
voice changer, by the way.
We're on podcast. Come on. Why do I have to do
Do
that?
this on
no,
pod.
no. Somebody paid bits
no.
for- okay. Yes.
Anyway,
I love
And
that you
that's where
can't do
everybody
that to
stop
me.
listening to the podcast right here.
right there,
Nope,
audience
nope.
is gonna
This is when
fall
they
off.
listen more.
Okay, so
Nope.
we still owe $1,000. Okay, let me just.
Yep.
Yes, I still owe $1,000 for the March PP contest. So that will be coming up here very soon. I haven't finished everything yet. I've got to put everything together in one big list, and then we're going to give away not $500, but $1,000. That'll be coming
the
up
big,
sometime.
month 3 double down.
That's right, the month 3 double
That's
down.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're calling it, the triple down, double down. Something. Triple month, double down. Anyway, so
least- yeah.
3 months, we're giving away $1,000, and that's actually coming up here in the next week or so.
love
But coming up on the weekend of April the 26th, we will be having our first ridiculously long cruise streamathon, where we will be setting some stream goals. We'll be letting you guys buy extra time on the stream with a cap, and there will be sub
Yep.
goals, including what
Wow.
amazing sub goals have you already constructed, Miss Tarpitude?
Well, we do have all of the ones from before. Are we still sticking with those, or?
I gave
Do
you.
I- do
you
I-
are in charge. So
Oh, fantastic.
yeah.
Well, how much do you like hot sauce?
Oh,
Oh,
dear
no.
God. Not a lot. No, can't say that I do.
Good. Oh, good. Fantastic.
Jeez.
Good. That's
Okay.
great. Because I definitely have no ideas that have something to do with hot sauce.
That's fantastic. Thanks.
Right. You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. What was the other one we came up with? Strider in the airport. Making him Twitch mine on some variety of data for some period of time.
Ew.
And exactly, you get to suffer for all of us.
Oh.
I am not eating any tacos, Zoidberg.
I think we should eat some tacos.
Oh, so wait. You'd eat burritos?
Hold on. I have nothing to prove. I am the reigning, defending, talking track official podcast taco champion.
Oh, wait.
well,
Nobody can eat more
you are
taco than me
defending.
in
You're
a short amount
defending.
of time.
I challenge you.
I am the reigning defending. Why would I take another challenge from you? I left you in the dust.
You did not. You won by one taco.
It was 13 to 9.
It was not. That is false. You are the
That
king
is
of
true.
false.
I have the video. It is 13 to 9.
You're a
You
liar.
lose.
You lost, I won, and it was embarrassing.
Okay.
You were
Anyway.
talking so much
I
smack.
am So glad you guys are mature about this
I
whole
will
taco.
figure-
And then an hour later, I fell asleep on stream from a coma, a taco coma.
He
Yeah,
did. He
that was
passed out.
impressive.
That is good. So we'll probably come up with something there. Tarpy,
Absolutely.
the top end. Let's let everybody know what the number, the big goal, the high end of the sub goal, which was some obscene number. I don't remember. What was it, like 1,500 subs or 2,000 subs in a 24-hour period? 1,500?
Like 12 subs? I think it was 12.
100.
Total.
100.
No. What?
It's not going to be 12. Shut up. Anyway, the number one goal, like the top goal, Griffin, was that I was going to hop on a plane, come down
And go visit you.
and come visit you. We'll do a stream from the pergola
From the jacuzzi?
where I will not take a mic into it. All right.
Okay. Yeah, like
Are
last
you
time.
sure?
I forgot about that video.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Will not take a mic into the jacuzzi. No,
Okay.
yeah, the high. And by the way, this is going to be an obscene goal. All right. I don't expect to hit it.
14 subs?
I think I said it
Not
at
12?
1,500. I think it was 1,500.
I don't remember that at
Anyway, if we
all. Chad, it was like 12, right?
if we hit Griffin, I'm going to come down to Tampa. We'll do a pergola stream. That'll be great. But we'll also, while we're there, you're going to take me somewhere for a Brazilian wax.
Okay, I have just the place.
the fact that he
Thank
did
you,
not
Griffin.
hesitate for 1 second, did not hesitate. He was like, "Oh, okay, I know a place."
Well, yeah. Doesn't everybody?
I'll come down for a
I mean-
Brazilian wax, and we'll make some content out of it. It'll be terrible, and then we'll do a pergola stream, and I'll have a nice weekend with you. Okay.
There's nothing.
So,
There's
to
nothing
be
worse
clear-
than unsightly back hair. You gotta get that off.
I don't have back hair.
You don't have any hair. Anyway, yeah.
I
Tarp, go
don't.
ahead.
That's why it's going to be fine.
Well, I mean, you have to time this nicely, right? Because once you wax various places, you're not supposed to go into like hot tubs and saunas for some amount of time.
Oh, you shouldn't have told him
So-
that.
Oh, I'm telling him now, so he has to plan it appropriately.
Oh,
Or we could have just shoved him in the chlorine. Well, it is a saltwater pool and jacuzzi, so
So
I
it'll
think
be
that's
very
okay.
Oh, that
sanitary.
would sting.
It'll be fine.
Oh no, that would sting so much.
It's
It'll
actually
be-
very soothing
Let's
and
do it.
therapeutic.
All right. Anyway,
What?
that's coming up.
D-
Uh,
Speaking for a friend, of course, Griffin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the live stream. Tell me about this party, or is that the party?
the party's going to be the 24-hour stream. Party's 24-hour
Okay.
stream. We got a lot of stuff planned for
Yep.
that day. We'll do some fun stuff. We've got a couple of other goals. I'm not going to spoil any others. Tarpy's still working on a great list. But if we
Yep.
top it out, then we will end up in Tampa, broadcasting live from the Pergola Camp.
I think that's great. I can cook hot dogs, and we can have a hot dog eating contest.
I will smoke you,
What?
son. I will. I will kill you in that. All right, it's gonna happen. Anyway, listen. One last thing that I want to talk about tonight before we get ready to wrap up. Jules, are we good on the Jizz 31? You got anything else that you'd like to bring up there? Or are we about done?
I got one big thing I want to bring up.
He's got one more big thing with the Jizz 31. What do you got,
About-
Jules?
In the circle, grab that chart, throw it up on the screen.
All right, here we
The
go.
graph,
Oh,
the graph.
I love this.
Oh,
I love
That's
this.
fancy.
This is what we've been wanting to talk about. That's right. We've been talking about this, folks. We
Yeah.
talked about the relativity. We talked about how it was going to be the big old bad mamma jamma. Jules, where are we looking on the new Jizz 31?
A crazy amount of base DPR, double what your board cube has,
Woo!
way more than anything else.
Woo!
The GS31 at base is going to be your new G6 ship.
In
Oh,
other
wow,
words, you're
really?
telling me that the Jizz 31 is going to throw the biggest shot of any ship you own.
oh,
Yes.
Jesus.
Until up 70.
Oh well, excuse me. Hold on a second. I just gotta back into that store.
You currently
Get
don't.
that.
You don't have any ship that's gonna throw a larger shot. Okay. Nice.
Well, I mean, a higher tier G6 rare, yes. But right now, like just the base statistics on this ship are very, very high, and that's amazing to see. Plus, big plus for G6 players, a full 500% hazard protection.
Really?
Yeah.
It has hazard research in there. You, my friend, will get full 500% hazard protection. So you can sit there, grind 70 and 7-win hostiles all day long. You can send it there and forget about it.
And that's the research in the Starship thingy?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I missed that one. I was too busy hitting the PvP one up.
Yep. There you
Oh,
go.
no, you guys. There's been a
No.
disaster. There's been a disaster. This just in, I have breaking news that I did not know. I'm in the store here, and I have apparently run out of the opportunities to buy the really good value one. So now I can only buy the one that has the 11,000 parts.
Oh, no,
What
no,
the heck?
don't do it. No. You're not going to do it, are you? Don't do it.
Hey.
No, what are you doing? He's buying the bad pack.
What other pack am I supposed to buy?
You're going to grind some of it out. Zoidberg
What?
says bleh.
Are you tier 13 yet?
What? Well, hold on. I'm well.
Are you
I think
I'm on tier
10 or 11 yet? What was the one?
He's only 11.
Well,
And he's not even
Man, look at
that
this.
pack got him
Okay,
like
there we go.
3
Yeah,
components.
officers for 12.
He's not even going to
Oh,
finish.
look at that.
Oh, he got it.
Ah, tier 12.
Tier 12.
It's the happy day on the farm.
Ooh.
Data.
Hey, I have the screen. I have it.
All right.
Show me the
Wh-
officers, man.
While they are gathering data, I will leave this up on the screen. I'll allow them to gather some data. One other thing that I wanted to talk about, I was reminded about this announcement earlier, so thank you, by the way, for this reminder. How many of you guys got an email today saying, hey, we miss you. Your account's been inactive for weeks and weeks and weeks. Did anybody get one of those? I did. Did you get one of those, Jules?
Does that mean you haven't shielded in that long?
No. What that means, Prime says, I got
That's a good one. Good word.
Shush. I have serious business to attend to.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, sorry. Take it from the top. Sorry.
All right. So this email that went out, would you give me minutes, please? Just watch the screen.
No.
An email went out today that invited players who had been away from the game. That's right, Otter. These are for alt accounts or otherwise abandoned accounts that you had an email address attached to that you have long forgotten about. All right. This, I was talking to them a little bit earlier in dev chat. I believe that there's probably going to be a modification for this moving forward. Like maybe they'll include the name on the account because some people were a little bit confused. This is not for an account that you're logged into today. This, by chance, might be an account that you had previously signed up for, or an account that you previously attached to this particular email, potentially. Okay. So really kind of what it is kind of, you know, be a little bit careful, perhaps, about just creating, random alts and then forgetting about them, right? That thing. All right. That being said, if you have multiple accounts, this offer may only be available on one of them, and you may not even remember which one it is. Okay. You'll have to log into the eligible account in order to claim the rewards from this new Back to the Bridge campaign. All right. And I'm going to switch over to my screen just for a second to show you guys. This is what we're looking at, all right? These new daily briefings are on a 22-hour cooldown that are going to earn you ship unlock tokens and officer shards, okay? This is meant to be a retention kind of thing. Not a retention, but like a churn avoidance to come back to. They have some significant lat. They have ship unlocks and some ridiculous numbers of officer shards to get players back in and re-engaging with their accounts for players who may have signed up and bounced out. Okay. Divine says, are those accounts that are against TOS? No, not necessarily. I mean, there is a lot of churn.
It includes accounts that were set up because a patch may have broken your access to your existing account.
That would include some of those. That's true too.
Like if you got reset to level 1 and like you try to log in, you put in a new email,
Yeah.
this includes that account. So it's not that you broke TOS. So this is not just being sent to players who have alt accounts. This is also being sent to players who had double bugs.
Yeah, I got it. But it makes sense that I get it because I've created accounts before to do stuff. So yeah, I've created accounts to do stuff before. And
well, do we know what exactly comes in this pack?
I'm trying to find out. It's not letting me.
So it's real simple right now. The daily briefings are all you're earning right now. I don't think that you're going to be able to see. Well, I guess you can see the interior of the bundles. It's kind of like a little bit of a meta as well. So you're going to see these daily briefings, 14 days. Try to get them back into the game for 14 days, and it will be offering a ton of rewards. Now, the thing is, if you have the multiple accounts, if you've got other accounts that you may not remember, for example, I see right here, I didn't even know I had a second account. Now I'm curious about it, says Prime. It was probably something, as Jules mentioned, maybe you logged in at one time and the game reset, you're at level 1, you had to email CS, they got you reattached. All right. All in all, kind of a cool idea. I like the idea of trying to get people back that have downloaded the game, maybe from a sponsored stream, maybe from one of their streamers that they like, and they got something going and they want to come back into the game. I think that's very, very cool. I will tell you that there is not there will be more events like this in the future. Let me just put it this way, okay? There will be more events like this in the future. The criteria will change each time. Okay? You don't know what it might be. It might be under G3 or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying that this is a new mechanic that they're trying out to retain players that have drifted away. Because you got it this time doesn't mean that you're always going to have it, all right? You might go back in and start playing that account, and, well, then you're re-engaged, all right? There will be some selective targeting on some of this stuff in the future. It is a very targeted experience. There's not a whole lot of big comms going on about this, but when I got this email, I asked about it because I was like, I don't know what this is, and we got to talking about it, okay? I feel like the way that they're kind of doing this, and they told me that that the criteria is going to shuffle over time. It's going to change. And you know what that reminded me of, Griffin?
What?
What, a criteria that the community doesn't know anything about and we never did actually solve.
Yeah. Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying.
How to get into VIP?
I say, community, game on. All right? That's right, Otter. It's another military supremacy. I want to find the pattern. I want to find the pattern. I want to figure out what it is, and I'm going to beat them at their own game. All right?
Oh, the white whale has returned.
It has
I
indeed.
blocked that memory.
Yeah, we never did figure out that mathematical formula, but I am convinced that I am going to solve it this time. All right, so we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, there it is. This is. Are you able to show us what is in it, Tarpy? This is what she is showing us right now.
That was posted. Well, that was posted by a person, Grendel, in the Talking Trek chat 4 hours ago.
Nice.
So I.
Oh, here we go.
Other than that,
here we go. We've got here's an image. The back to the bridge, claim the daily briefing. This thing has millions of lat. Oh my gosh. Look at that, Griffin.
Yeah, I don't know what ops that is.
Well,
I mean, if it was a high ops, you wouldn't have abandoned the account, would you have?
Yeah, sure you could. People do all the time. Are you kidding?
I was going to say,
people abandon 70 accounts and come back.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
How many former panelists on this show would be on that list?
Bubba told me it went to his spam folder.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
That's yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at that lat. Yeah, we don't know this, Ops, but that's crazy. I'd be very curious to see how this is going to play out. And I wanted you guys to be aware of it and that the campaign is going on. So if somebody asks you about it, this is what's happening. It is a hidden formula, a white whale formula, and we'll have to continue to investigate as this event runs more, and we'll try to find some commonalities and try to see what we can figure out. Here it is with back to the bridge. Divine says up 61 will never see military supremacy. I don't know that it was ever expanded.
Well,
Was it?
was.
What are you buying?
So
Jules, he's maxing the ship. Oh my
I've
God.
noticed.
No, we missed it.
Why would
That's not my
tier
fault.
13. Oh no, someone's got it.
what?
I got it.
Oh,
Griffin's
Okay,
amazing.
thank you. Great. Did you get
Yeah.
the officer?
Gee, man.
Kansas?
Christmas.
Yes,
me, oh
yes.
my.
Griffin. I
Griffin is
love you,
amazing.
Griffin.
All right, so the sheet is getting filled out as we speak. Is that what's happening right now?
So we need this one here.
All right, here let's watch it. Let's watch it as it happens. Where are we here? Oh, look, there it is.
We're in the officer
There
column.
she is. She's typing. Tarpitude is typing right now.
You know,
Take
the
a
best
look.
part is look what's happening to this officer situation over here. Look at this, Jules. I was already impressed with tier 13. Let's see what happens here. I'm looking at a 66% chance of 4 epics right now.
Wow. That's nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, taking a look at the sheet as we continue to fill this stuff in. Tarpitude is continuing to fill out the officer acquisition sheet, and we'll continue to see how that plays out. Where do we have all the parts data figured out? They're working on the parts data.
Yes.
Working on parts data.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, there you go. Listen, I am done. Do we have anything else real quick before we get ready to go? Jules, anything? Tarpy, anything? Matters? Spectre Karkin? Oh dear God.
People asking about
My
your
normal
recommendation
question of-
Oh Lordy.
for Tarpy.
Yeah. Crew would maybe.
Yeah. I don't have anything for the group right now. I just know that there's a large weapons damage bonus, so any officers increasing your weapon damage will have very little to minimal effect. Other than that, the new Reavers have very high isolytic damage and very high isolytic defense.
Ooh.
So I think Matters was saying this on the previous show, just about how to not really focus on your isolytic officers as much.
No way. All right, I'll pull up Griffin's screen. So one pack is not even getting him. Oh man. 2 to 3 packs per tier at the high levels. Yeah, it seems that way. Looks like he just finished though. He is going to get tier 15. That was on 3 packs from the last tier.
Yep.
Oh,
There you go.
Good job.
All righty.
Good win,
And ladies
man.
and gentlemen, there's a tier 15.
Oh, boy.
Cheers, 31.
That's one big garbage cow. And
One
now,
big
Jules,
pile
I can take this
something.
where I want and just blow things up all day, and I'm gonna
Have-
win all the DPR leaderboards.
Have you
I'm excited to see this.
done he's like, I
Oh.
really want to see you go shoot your shot. Okay, that's what I'm
Yeah.
after right here.
Oh my God.
What? Here's for
Giant
Tarpitude.
Wad of
Don't
cash.
be gross, DJ. What's wrong with
What?
you?
No, it's got a huge
What's
gun, like
Oh, thank you.
huge shots.
Well, I don't need. Why am I maxed, Scopely? Why am I maxed? and you're
Because
giving me
you
more of these
might
ship
build
parts?
another one.
Oh, that's true. I do have a second one.
What?
You can do elite waves with just
What?
these.
Why
I
do you
do.
have two?
I forgot all about that. Don't I have a? Hold on a second.
DJz is jealous you have
So you're
2.
gonna get
Oh,
two
look, here it is
things.
right here.
He
Here we
has
go.
another one. What? Oh
Get
my
started on- oh,
God!
I'm gonna get this
Oh
till I
my
can get
God.
tier 7 or 8 right now.
Why?
Well, we'll do that in a minute.
Wait.
Hold on.
What's the
Or
cooldown
you-
on the beam at max?
Let's
do we
find
know?
out. First, I've got to get the. I got to get the
Posted?
data I promised
This is
I would get, which is
unbelievable
in
right now.
here.
This is
Thank you.
absolutely worthless to the podcast audience right now. Silver Tap, thank you for the
Look at
15.
that.
Oh, this is
DJz.
fantastic.
Look at that. Look at
Wow.
the state of that.
95%.
Wow,
and
5.95. You don't even need to send me a screenshot.
All right.
There it is.
Thank
you.
you,
It's gonna take you
Warsery, for the
forever to
20-month
max those
resub.
rare offices.
You know, I'm just gonna silence the audience there for just a second while I say what I need to say. Warsery, thank you for the 20-month resub. Silver Tab for the 15-month resub. John Wick, thank you for the follow. Aiden Games with the 28-month resub. Twab with the 22-month resub. And the list goes on. Thrawn, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Skeletor for the 1 year anniversary sub. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that. We do absolutely appreciate each and every one of you here on this stage. Thank you guys all so much for the support and love that you've issued to our channel. Thank you, Griffin, for the crazy data that you are working out right now and providing all the data. Thank you very much, Tarpy and Jules, for the amazing teaching tonight. Thank you guys for the work on the charts. And appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for being a part of our live studio audience. Thank you to our friends over at Scopely who have tuned in tonight and been hanging out in the chat. Of course, as always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much. Roz says, "Wait, what? The end?" Yes, the end. I've been trying to go for 30 minutes.
I got to get out to the jacuzzi.
Yeah, he's got to go to the jacuzzi, and I got to go to bed. I got to work tomorrow, and Jules has to go run waves. All right, that's what we're trying to do right there. Real quick, Griffin, can you tell us what the cooldown is at max tier?
How do I do that?
Take the ship into space. Just take the ship into space.
Here it comes.
And, yeah, press the button. Well, you're going to have to beam somebody. So click one of the hostiles and beam it. And then we'll see what the timer says.
So little time.
There we go. All right, he's beaming it with a max tier confirmed and the ability 45 seconds. There you go. 45 seconds confirmed on screen. Well done, Griffin. Well done. All right. Thank you guys for being a part of our live studio audience. Visit us online at TalkingTrekSTFC.com, UltimatDJzPlays.com, where Saturday night we'll be here live with Studio B. Sunday we'll be here with another show. We might hang out a little bit on Saturday, possibly, just to kind of hang out and play a little bit. We will not be doing a show tomorrow. So you guys have a wonderful start to your weekend, and we'll be back at least on Sunday and maybe a little bit Saturday just to kind of play around and have a little bit of fun if you guys would like to do that.
There.
Broken
That's
Wolf, thank you for your
large.
100 kitty bitties. Appreciate that. And you guys just started a hype train. We're signing off and you started a hype train. Okay, I guess we can't go anywhere. I will go ahead and sign off to the podcast audience. Thank you guys so very much. I'd like to invite you to visit the website for more than just finding links over to our Twitch and our YouTube, where we've got other videos and contents, but we've also got our merch store, where actually right now there is brand new merch. Okay, brand new merch you can go and buy. We've got can koozies now. All right, that's right. And they've been modeled after your favorite Green Griffin. You can go get yourself a can koozie for your new Ghost Energy. All right, absolutely. You know you want one of these. It is Green Griffin Sour Tritanium Apple Can Cooler that you can get on our Talking Trek merch store. You can also join our Patreon program and get entered into the cruise sweepstakes. Lots of stuff that you can do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for visiting and listening to Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person, UltimatDJz.
And I'm Griffin.
And we're saying meow for now. Love you, minute. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Meow.
Woof.
Woof. And there we go. All right. And now you guys have a hype train. Is that so? Now we have to stay because you got the hype train.
Let me run a level 60 wave with this sucker.
Okay, let's watch the whale cam, and he'll run a G6 waiver over here. Did I unmute you? Yeah, you're unmuted. I had to go, Tarpy.
Okay.
Everybody had diarrhea of the mouth.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yes. Everybody was just and
Differently than normal.
I had to roll. All right, I wanted to end this show 30 minutes ago.
Well, that's not.
That
That's
is the
all my fault.
self-aware I've heard you be. What?
Do what?
Okay.
I said it was all my fault for extending the show by buying the ship. I apologize.
No, well, the date is good. Voltron says, can we have a poll if he beats it? What are you running with? Cube.
No, what just happened?
Whoa,
Oh,
your
see, I
junker is
messed up.
already
I messed
dead?
up. No, I messed up. That was the level 1 junker. I forgot that I had that with me. So we're just gonna let this
He
one
just
first
ran
thing.
the tier 1 junker. Yes, Bennett. He's already built 2, which is unbelievable right now. Yeah,
Well,
here's the thing. You're absolutely right. Cruzito says, why wouldn't you use the beam literally every single time? Because it's only a 45-second
it's only
cooldown.
45 seconds.
Yeah,
well, let's see
use
what
it every
happens when I do
time.
that. Just push this and I have to select the target.
Yeah,
No.
just hit it.
Just hit the beam.
Just hit
look at that go.
Yeah, it's going to
That's
kill
exciting.
everything. There you go. Kills it all. Use the cube. Go kill the rest.
Oh my god. How was the zap?
I like
it hit more than 3 targets.
There. No, I hit 4, I think.
Why'd you only hit 4? You
I
should have hit
used
5.
to call the Vorcha a space taser.
It
This
was
is
kind of
way
sexy.
more.
Yeah, it is pretty.
I enjoyed it.
I'm going to turn
Yeah.
off his camera so we can actually watch.
Yes, please do. I would appreciate that. So I'm not drooling on camera trying to stick my tongue out of my mouth and smoke comes out of my ears.
What?
Yeah, it's because he took a tier 1 junker. He's very upset about it.
I did. I'm not upset about it. It just happens.
What
It's
a
life.
rookie.
That's
I know.
life. Is
Did
it
you-
any surprise? I probably have the wrong effing
Fleet commander. Yeah.
assigned to.
Did you activate your
Cruzito.
fleet commander ability? You probably didn't, did you? Dude, you can't say that.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were still recording.
We're still on Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, whoops. I muttered that. That was
It's
probably
after
not even
dark.
intelligible.
It's after dark.
Hey, Corey, what's going on over there, buddy? How are you?
Oh, well, that was very fun. Look at that. I did kill off all of
5.
those suckers.
That was 5.
There you go. Hot diggity dog.
And I'm not going to wait for that stupid thing. Oh,
Anybody
although
playing
here, this guy's gonna get
STFC
me.
tonight that we're going to be able to raid into? Up, Cree. Cree is getting ready to start. Well, did we say hi to Cree the other night? Didn't we just raid Cree the other night? Or did we not? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Wait,
either.
congrats on 70, Griffin.
Thank you.
Yeah, he did it. He
I did it. That's the one thing I logged in the game to do while I was shooting those commercials. All right, so let's see. I am waiting 4 seconds. Nothing wrong with
Well,
that.
wait until more ships
What?
come in.
Oh, they have to be in the circle? to
Yeah,
count?
of course they've got to be in the system. All right,
No,
now
I don't
do
think
it.
that's true.
Yes.
I think that
I was
it
gonna-
hit them outside the circle before.
You can't hit them outside the circle.
That's going to be one of my questions was how does it have to be in the circle? Because I haven't yet. Oh, that looks so cool.
It does
Yeah,
look
that was
cool.
fun.
Can't target them outside the system.
But can the ship target them? You
I
can't,
thought,
but can
I
the
thought
ship?
that, that happened on
Find
wave
out.
1, but I'm not going to test it
Yeah.
again.
It did hit outside the circle? Wow.
I thought that it did. If we
Okay.
look at the replay, I think it did reach out there. Yes.
Well,
I mean,
do
you
it.
can do it again and
Do it
in a
again.
minute.
Yeah, do it again here in just a
Uh-oh,
second.
The cube's dead. Cube's dead.
You got to
But you have
max.
3 left. And
Yeah, you got to max Jizz 31. You're fine.
Also
You didn't
the-
get there in time.
that thing has to
I
win,
thought
though.
that I did. I got screwed
You
on that
didn't
one.
get there in time.
The fact is
So
that
I'm
he's
going to hit
not
this.
killing me.
Let's see what happens here.
You don't have time. Hit
Not enough
it!
time.
Hit it now!
I'm trying to. Look, I'm
Now
trying to
they're
stop
all
targeting
inside
it.
the
Oh my
circle.
God.
He screwed it up.
Stop yelling at him.
He screwed it up.
You're gonna
Test
I
failed.
didn't. You,
Test failed.
look, and
you're
what,
gonna give him
why is it?
performance anxiety.
Test failed. Oh,
You're-
God, that's so hot.
You're
the
gonna give him
worst. You're the
performance
worst in the
anxiety.
district.
So
about
sad.
Oh yeah,
Zap.
this is it.
Yeah,
This,
you're
we've
boned.
lost it because
Yeah,
look
you're
how
not gonna-
slow this thing is.
It is really slow. Holy crap.
No, that's
Well, maybe
totally a
just use
glitch, isn't it?
Cruise.
It's really slow.
Because I let that one because I didn't because the game glitched and it didn't give me credit for hitting that
Oh, yeah,
one.
you're not going to get there. Boom, done.
Otherwise, I would have been there. I would have done it.
Game
I would
over.
have done it.
Boom! Game over.
Okay, well, I will very quickly read.
So that 70
I-
did take a chunk out of your ship too.
Yeah, it did. He wouldn't have killed another one. Yeah, it
so
I
you
did.
blame
What-
DJs for that, for yelling at you when you were trying to perform.
He does that to me all the time. It's usually while
know.
we're on the air.
I do not.
That's just mean.
It was very impressive, Voltron. The beam looks great.
Okay, do I have the right crew on that still? This is the Matters crew. Are we happy with that crew, Jules? With no shit on here either.
No what?
We're not.
No stuff.
No stuff.
Stuff.
All right,
Matters, is that
one
still
more
the right
wave,
crew?
and then we got to go.
Okay, there's that, and then there's this crew right here. All right, that's what we're doing.
Are you taking both junkers? Oh, okay.
No,
Back
I
to
took
Titan.
that one off.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can
Okay.
be successful here. Okay, so there's this defend. Boom. Bring this
Cruzito
in,
wants to know where your epic is. I'm
bring
guessing
this
that's
in.
Saturday's
I just
problem.
know, Cruzito. I just got to level 70 like a week ago. So relax. Not even that. I'm not
That's
enough time. See, look,
this
I still
week's
need
problem,
all these
right?
blueprints. Look, I'm blueprint poor.
Hey, at least there's a slider now compared to the
Yes.
last time you tried to build a ship when there wasn't a slider.
Okay, we have started. Hit that bad boy.
Beam
See,
it.
look, I did. See,
It did.
hit it.
Yes, it did. All right, there you go. It does
So now we
indeed hit
know.
outside the circle. Dude,
That's a good
that's
tip.
the strategy. That's the strategy. When this thing gets tiered up, is just to pop it at the very beginning and let that cooldown work for the start of the next wave.
Like,
That
in
is
fact,
awesome.
I'm just gonna let this. I'm gonna let this one sneak up because we have the time.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Is that the only other hostile left in wave 1? I guess it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That's nice. All right, go ahead and kill it.
So we're at 10 seconds. Now
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill it.
Divine says, listen, Griffin,
here.
if you max 2 Jizz 31s, then when one's on cooldown, you can use the other one and beam every hostile in there.
If that were the case, I would probably win every arena ever.
Zap.
It does take a while to process that zap, though. That's the only thing.
Just
So
to
I
be
have another
clear,
question
you
for you,
can't
too.
multi-zap players.
Oh, a player.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the actual beam damage on players is really low. So it's not instant arena. It's just instantly kill a bunch of the hostiles to get the loot.
Hey, wait, why does his center target have 5?
Because
If you're taking away those hostiles from other arena members, then they're not going to be able to start the realm. So yeah, that's a
So
win.
he gets extra hits. Oh, that prime actually probably has a little bit more value now too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
So I'm waiting for my little timer. So I'm hitting him at the last possible second.
How much time you got left on the? Oh yeah, you're good. You're set.
It's ready to go. Yeah.
It would be.
So now I find the first hostile in here. Here he is. Boom. And hit it. I just don't like that delay.
Well,
there we go.
I mean, you're good. Now you know what you need to go hit.
There's B.
There is I don't remember what it's called, Thea Butter. There's a prime that gives extra targets or extra hits to your wave defense targets. I don't remember which one it is. We could probably find it.
Something.
Prime
How do I
Control
hit this
Center.
guy? Look,
Yeah.
why can't I get him?
Because he's cute.
I think it's in the
He's in Kirshara.
mirror tree. Maybe.
Central
That's
Entity
frustrating.
Defense says kill first, and it's in the mirror tree. There you go. Central
Prime
Entity
wave defense, central entity, HHP increase. 1 level gives you 2.
So 2 extra hits. By the way, in a group wave, it will stack as well. So like if 3 people have it, it'll get you 6 extra hits if you were playing groups.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Why are you
It would
flying?
be
What are you doing?
I don't know.
You're flying all over the place.
Well, I'm I got time.
Yeah, you got time. That beam though, that's awesome. I love that.
It's a lot of fun. I have fun. See, cube's dead. That crew is not good on that cube.
Well, these are big hostiles though, dude.
It would be a nice prime to push for in like tournament store.
You're getting ready to lose that ship. That ship's going down right now.
I think so.
Yeah.
That crew was designed
Ooh,
for
you got it.
one round
That's happy.
one round
Happy day.
kills. If you're lasting more than 1 round, you should look at changing.
All right, wait, no. Oh.
What's
I
wrong?
would have
What?
beamed the 70s now. In this last wave, I would have beamed the 70s.
Oh, well, shit.
That's all right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're not going to clear all these. Oh, you're fine though. You've got 4 hits or 5 hits. You've only got 4 hostiles. So piss.
Yeah, it was perfect up until
not with
now.
that attitude, DJs.
All right.
Just
There
don't
you
kill your
go.
ships off, otherwise it'll end.
Broken
And
Wolf
yeah,
says
don't kill your GS31 either.
yeah, don't kill your GS31. Let it stay alive. Just
Okay, so I'm
call
not
it right
gonna-
there. Just let it go.
Just let it hit.
There you go.
No point in not.
Nice job.
So there you go. There's our level 60 clearance.
Wow, he just killed it all. Wave 5.
Let's see what I get. Well, that
Where's
was
your
cool.
cooldown?
Nicely done. And that's all the time we have for today, folks.
Well, let's see what the reward is.
That's right, Mord. Without the prime, he would have lost. So
That's a pretty good collection.
that is a nice payout right there. Looking good.
And I can do that as many times as I have.
5,700 Mirror Universe credits, 11,000 original Section 31 credits, 4,500 junk for your trunk, and 8,400 solo keys.
I am drunk with power.
There you go. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and bounce on out of here. Thank you guys, everybody, for everything tonight. It's been a great show. We're going to raid on out. Let me take a look again at our raid, potential raid targets. We have a lot of people online tonight. We got Cree over there hanging out, who's doing a little STFC. We've got Bafty playing some Outer Wilds tonight. We've got Pika, who is doing Throwback House tonight. And Nolan is just being his young, typical, weird self
Nolan.
with lots of cussing. That's what he does. And we could go watch Baby Ducks over on the Taco channel if you want.
Oh, that's always fun.
That's
Let's
a good
see
one
it.
right there.
I'm always going to vote for Bafty, but you know.
We could go say hey to Bafty. We haven't rated Bafty in a couple minutes, so we could do that. Benny Hill says, let's go see Bafty. All right, let's go say hey to Bafty. We will go do that. Bafty, 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 Bafty.
Good night, y'all. I'll see you next week. If not on Sunday.
You guys have a wonderful night. We're going to press the button. You guys have a great one. We'll see you. Whoops, sorry, wrong button. See you next time. Bye, everybody.